Almost.
Have we breached the tower of reality?
We have, man. We've lawnmower manned.
We're through the looking glass here, people.
Back and to the left. Back and to the left.
Y'all liberal, Mr. Gasson. That's because you've never been fucked in the ass.
Back and to the left.
That was from JFK.
Yep.
Blown away. What else do I have to say? We didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world's been turning.
Ryan started the fight. That's from The Office.
Yeah.
Right. So let's do an intro here. I wish I had another intro. I'm so sorry.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the weekly podcast sanctioned by the government of Wonderland. Swear words of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the podcast. All other swear words are restricted. Wonderland officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the podcast and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 1 continuous hour. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until the podcast concludes. Blessed be our Wonderland leaders in America, a nation reborn. LIW Anthology Series Review is now in effect.
Oh, citizens, welcome to LIW Anthology Series Review episode 108. Inside number 9306, Private View. I'm Phoenix West. Welcome. I feel like it's been a while since we've done Inside number 9, but it probably hasn't, right?
It's been, I think, 2 weeks.
Yeah, it feels like forever. I don't know why.
No.
I gotta say, bottom of the list.
Oh, yeah, this is the weakest one we've seen. It was still entertaining. It's just this was the weakest one they've ever done so far that they've done for us.
I don't agree with that.
It's the weakest one. I would say it's the weakest episode.
Okay.
Next to the Pops.
It's right there with. Okay, let's just go through the storyline because it's basically if you've seen any Tales from the Crypt episodes or
I would say
or stuff.
Yeah, this is their Tales from the Crypt episode.
It's that.
Yeah,
people
it's very
invited to a place for revenge. They don't know why. My main problem with the episode is they don't ever figure out why. Like you need that scene where halfway through they kind of figure out, oh fuck, this is why they're doing this, and they try to nothing.
Well, it's the dramatic irony. The audience needs to know. That's all that matters.
Yeah,
everyone
but
else doesn't have to know.
I get why it's short. They have to keep it short. It's not a fucking feature-length movie. I get.
Well, there's a movie that did the same idea. I think it's called
50 of them.
No, well, it's quite a few, but there's one movie that just came out recently. I think it's called Wild or something. It's a Spanish film where it was like vignettes, and one of the vignettes was basically everybody was on a plane and they were all connected, and they find out that the pilot. They wronged the pilot, and the pilot's going to crash the plane and kill everybody in it. But what was the name of that movie?
No idea.
I'm trying to look at. I think it's called.
It's every Saw movie.
Well,
every Saw movie ripoff.
This was like classily done.
Yeah,
this was very.
It's a well tread horror movie thing. It's been done 1,000 times. It's not bad. It's definitely
it's not bad. It's never bad, but it's just different.
Yeah, we got Helen Mirren as Hillary Clinton. We have the Missy Pyle lookalike.
Yeah.
We have the girl with the dragon tattoo girl. We have Aunt Petunia from Harry Potter. And then we have
literally
Steve. Yeah, literally her. And that's it, right?
Pretty much.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, gotta be. There's an art exhibit in a basement of a building. They don't know why they're there. They all got weird invitations. They just show up and go in.
Well, what I want to know is the first person that gets killed or murdered is the nurse.
Male nurse.
He's got a plate with cheese and or was it Cheez-Its? nobody.
My Ritz.
I'll spill my Ritz. That's right. I'll spill my Ritz, and he dies. But why was he there first? And where did he get the Ritz? So did that waitress give him the Ritz?
The Ritz don't matter, but why he showed up first? Because she, spoiler for the ending. She needed him for the exhibit.
I guess.
Yeah, that's just again with this show. You don't have to look that far in.
No.
But he is the most British person you'll ever see in your life. Because look at this fucking guy. I'm going to show him right now.
Oh, sure.
I don't know good art, my good far me.
I don't good art, you get far me. When he sits down, he. Oh, it's right here.
Oh, there it is.
He drops his crackers on the ground.
Spilled me Ritz.
Yeah, we got a good laugh out of that, and then
that was good.
That was the only time we laughed in the episode, I think. A couple lines.
That was funny. I mean, it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't a bad episode. It was just they were trying to do this. Was again, like I said, this is their Tales from the Crypt episode. This is their EC Comics episode. It was fine. I mean, it wasn't like it was bad. It wasn't bad, and it was a nice setup. But we called it like the first 10 minutes of the episode.
Oh yeah, I was like, Jason Voorhees, it's the mom punching her son.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it was the organs until later, but
I figured it'd be something, close to that. It would have to be they're connected. It was basically the body parts movie with Jeff Fahey, but turned into a TV show, a TV episode.
I consider it 7 pounds.
What was 7 pounds?
That Will Smith movie.
Oh, well, 7 pounds, wasn't that like about they all got the parts, but they lived, they didn't die?
He was interviewing these people. Like the whole movie, he's getting to know these people, and you don't know who they are or why he's talking to them. And then turns out he's killing himself and then donating those organs to those people.
He's killing himself? He doesn't have a terminal disease?
He might. I don't remember the specifics. I just know when I first moved out here, like the year or two after I moved out, I went to the theater with my mom and my brother and like my nephews and all that. And we're all like, all right, let's go see a movie. And we were like, 7 pounds, Christmas.
Oh, that's the movie you see.
And I was like, these poor kids.
I didn't know that was what that movie was about.
Yeah. Like they must have been bored. I didn't know that was what it was about either. Will Smith, it's Christmas time. It's sad as shit. When you sit there and you're like, oh my God. Like,
get your kidneys out of my wife's mouth.
Yeah. And he just fucking kills himself. And you're like, Merry Christmas, everyone.
He must have been dying of something, and that's what you give it, or he's just a suicidal. He's a depressed man.
I think his wife died. I don't remember.
And so he's just depressed. And I thought, so which one's the one where he gets? I thought the 7 pounds isn't the one where everybody talks to him and saying, "We love you." Like he's visited by like the 7 muses or whatever. What's that movie? There's another Will Smith movie, which is the
Legend of Bagger Vance.
No, he's the mystical Negro in that one. That's what they call that. That's the genre because Morgan Freeman couldn't do it, so they got Will Smith. Morgan Freeman should have been Bagger Vance. Makes no sense why Will Smith was Bagger Vance.
That's a movie that was forgotten by the
because it was stupidly cast. It was just dumb. Robert Redford. It's like, dude, you have the mystical Negro, Morgan Freeman. Like he is the quintessential, he is the voice of God, for God's sakes. Like you have him play Bagger Vance. You don't have Will Smith play Bagger Vance. That's like so lame. Will Smith's a good actor, but he's not Bagger Vance.
I've never seen it.
I mean, just because it's about like he's this ancient creature that teaches people life lessons with golf or something. Like he's supposed to be golf. He's supposed to be like this supernatural being or something.
It's a very specific and short-lived mystical creature.
I made all that up. I have no idea, but I know it has something to do with golf.
Yeah, I know the golf part.
Yeah, the golf part.
I remember seeing Matt Damon in those stupid fucking pants.
Yeah, Matt Damon's in it. I think Elizabeth Banks is in it. Elizabeth Banks started to get that career going. She's in that one, or maybe it wasn't. I'll look it up. Let's look up Legend of Bagger Vance.
I can't wait.
Let me see who's in this movie. It's got to be. Oh, I think Charlize Theron. That's right. It's your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like Legend doesn't even pop up. Wow, Legend of Bagger Vance came out in 2000.
Do you think they wanted to use another double G-E-R word for bagger? And they just like, we got to say bagger.
Whoops.
We can't be that obvious with it.
Is that a problem?
Anyway, we'll go there after the what have you.
So Bagger Vance, let's see.
Oh, we're supposed to move on after that clip, but okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Bagger Vance, I just want to say that the blockbuster achievement it made. Oh my God. $80 million budget, worldwide gross $39 million. That's what we call a bomb.
I remember it being free on HBO when I was a kid, or whenever it came out, when I was 14. What was that, 2000?
This came out November 3rd, 2000, so it would have been on HBO 2001.
Yeah. So I was 16, 17. And
Oh, here you go.
Oh, no, I'm good. No,
originally, the lead characters were going to be played by Morgan Freeman and Robert Redford. But after careful consideration, Redford decided to make the movie with younger men. Well, that was stupid.
He would have saved so much more money not casting two people at the height of their game.
Okay, so it's based on Hindu Krishna characters. They are basically Krishna teaches Arjuna while masquerading as his lowly chariot driver. Okay, that's what it is. Great. Thank you for making it less.
I actually have more questions now. Thank you.
Yeah.
I know less about this movie than I did before we started discussing the movie. That shouldn't be.
It's the final acting role for Jack Lemmon, who was uncredited in the film.
Oh.
Brad Pitt was offered the role, but turned it down.
It does seem like a Brad Pitt movie. But like 6 years prior. Like Legends of the Fall, 7 Years of Tibet era.
Yeah.
When he's doing these romance movies for some reason. I don't know why he's doing those movies. There's only like 4 or 5 of that era Brad Pitt movies I've not seen.
Those are all of them.
Early roles.
That's pretty much all of them. He only did like 6 or 7 of those early roles.
What was that movie he did about the... Oh man, I was just gonna say it and it just blinked for me.
He did Devil's Back.
River Runs Through It.
River Runs Through It. Legends of the Fall.
7 Years in Tibet.
7 Years in Tibet. The one where he's
Black, something Black, Joe Black.
Meet Joe Black. I've seen that.
Never seen it.
That's a long.
It was a double VHS, and I was like, "Nah,
That's good. A long fucking movie." The best part of Meet Joe Black was when Brad Pitt goes, "Oh, they're gonna take care of you with the medicine." He talks Jamaican to a black another Jamaican woman. "Oh, I'm gonna take real good care of you now, girl. Don't be now with the medicine." It was like that scene from Airplane. It was like I talk jive. It was the same.
I just watched the
same scene. It was so goofy.
He wants some. He has a headache.
Here it is.
Oh, okay.
Watch, listen to what he says.
Oh, just 1 second. I'll be right there. Please, my mama is sicker than him.
Oh, be all right there, love.
Claire Forani, whatever.
Who's in every movie in the 90s. Yeah, the late 90s. She's in every movie, and then she disappears like a fart in the wind.
Yeah. No, mama.
What is he? Deaf?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
pretty much.
You hear about the movie, and that's what I gathered from hearing about it.
Oh, you got to watch the part where he takes the body.
Doesn't he get hit by a bus or something?
He gets hit by like 8 cars. It's hilarious.
But he's deaf, so
no. But then he gives the body back. It's stupid.
It took 3.5 hours to tell that story.
Well, yeah, because he's going after Anthony Hopkins because Anthony Hopkins is dying. And this is his daughter, and he falls in love with his daughter, and death understand. It's basically a remake of a movie that came out in the 40s, I think, called something specific. I can't remember what it's called, but it wasn't Meet Joe Black. But it's a remake of that movie. I can't remember what it's called.
Okay, here we go.
Here you go, yeah.
Everything want to be Irie.
Irie.
Have you registered?
You would have said a lot more than that. There's more to it than that.
I know. I don't want to show it all.
Everything gonna be Irie. Brad Pitt gonna talk like a Jamaican girl now.
You all right, Mama? Go with the doctor, lady. Mom gonna be fine now. Don't leave. Don't leave me.
She'll be right back.
It really is the airplane thing. Holy shit. Oh my god, I never knew this.
Stay loose, blood. She gonna get readout on the medicine.
This job.
Mama breaks no dummy. I dug her rap.
Yeah.
Come with some slack, Jack.
Oh my god, come on, lady.
Will be evil, I not evil, woman. And what you is then? I from that next place.
All right. I can't watch any more of
I'm
that.
from the next place. Gonna get a readout on the medicine.
Holy shit. I had no idea.
It's not a bad movie. It's just long and it's kind of up its own ass. You're just like,
Oh, you can tell, yeah.
This could have been a 90-minute movie. They make it a 2-hour and 50-minute movie. And like, why? I don't know. But the performances aren't bad. Like you have Jeffrey Tambor's in it.
Ooh,
He's
okay.
great. He's great in it. Marcia Gay Harden, she's great in it. And Tony Hopkins, great in it. Like they're all good. And that one character actor that's in every movie in the 90s for a minute and then disappeared. He was in he looks
Kevin
like
Dunn?
No, he looks like another actor.
Isn't Kevin in another one though?
Kevin Dunn's in a lot of stuff today. He still works.
No, but he was in every
He's
single
in everything
movie
in the 90s. Yeah.
And then just
he's in all he retired on the Transformer movies because he made all the Transformer money.
How much could he have possibly made on those?
Oh, he probably made a good $5 million. I'm sure of it. I'm sure. He's pretty much in all three of those movies. He runs around in the action scenes with the wife, remember? They're in the street, they're running from the Transformers.
I don't remember because I'd never seen those movies.
Oh, okay. He might have got paid more. I wouldn't doubt it. Maybe he got paid.
I've seen every
million.
Resident Alien or Resident Evil movie, but I've never seen those. I refuse to watch those movies. I watched the first one and I was like, oh no, I'm good. I got it. It's bad.
Like I said before, I remember seeing Transformers 4 and I had to leave the theater because I couldn't take it. I was just like, I can't deal with this anymore. It was giving me anxiety. I was like, I had to leave the theater. It was so bad. I was just like, this is like maddening. This is a mess. Like, what is this? It's like I'm on drugs. Like, this is so weird.
Without the fun or the
fun. No, it's awful. It's horrible. It's the worst part of the drugs. Gonna get you it's gonna be Irie.
Give him medicine, man.
Gonna be the medicine girl.
I like
but inside number 9.
Yes.
But yeah, pretty much this was a pretty easy one to figure out. And then, of course, they have to have the twist, which this one felt a little cheap to me.
It didn't make any fucking sense.
No, it did, because it showed him get out of his tie. He's tied up, and it shows him last minute. He got out of the rope. He got out of the tie.
I didn't see that because I started to work on stuff because I thought it was just wrapping up.
No. There's like a quick cut with him getting his hand free, and then it cuts to the heart in the jar. So you just assume, and he killed her, took her heart, and made that whole thing his own success, basically. Watch. Yeah, see,
I did not see that.
Yeah, he got loose.
That's why when the ending happened, I was going, huh?
Yeah, I could figure that. Yeah, that's why when the ending, because with Inside Number 9, of course, it always has to be the initial twist and then another twist. There's always that double layer to their endings.
And here's the problem with the initial twist. We guessed it.
The
second one, I don't give a shit.
It doesn't really matter.
No.
It was fine though. I mean, I still enjoyed it. It was funny. It was enjoyable. It wasn't laugh out loud funny, but it was funny. It was just like it was fine.
The point of this show is just weird dialogue with weird characters.
Sure.
And that's all you're really there for.
Yeah.
And if they could have a great story, episode's amazing. If they can have an okay story, like even the worst episode, which I still think is Last Night at the Proms.
Right. Yeah.
Even with the worst episode, I still like watching it. I still will watch it again. I'm not gonna be like, no, I'm good with that. No, I'll still watch it.
It's still funny.
You still catch the dialogue the second time around. That still works.
I can hear myself.
Ratings wise, because I don't want to go too much longer on this because there's not a whole lot to say. I put it here.
Yeah, I agree.
I did like this better than Night at the Proms.
I think that's going to be the parameter for all of our ratings. Is the Night at the Proms going to be the last one until we get horrifyingly disappointed with another one, but I don't think it's gonna. I don't know. Maybe it will happen eventually.
Series 7 just came out. I have to get that.
Yeah.
I just asked before the show. I asked on Twitter which episode from that series we should do.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 episodes. This is number 16.
So was this one? Was this one? Oh my God! I'm losing my capability to speak. I'm having a stroke.
That's what happened to me earlier.
What?
That's what happened to me earlier.
Yeah.
Blinked on a person's name.
Did somebody recommend this episode?
No.
Okay, I was going to say. Yeah.
No, because normally on my schedule here. Oh, sorry, it's actually on the same page. I have like Jelly A recommended the next episode to have.
Okay.
Plot Bunny Catcher 9 is thinking out loud. This one I think just came about. I don't know. They didn't choose, like, this is the one show I don't have the bingo hopper because I don't want to curse this show with the bingo hopper.
Right.
Keep the bingo hopper and this show separate.
Yes, please.
Yeah, this one though, I was just kind of choosing. I was going like season by season, but I noticed we did every episode, every second and third episode of the first 4 series, which is weird because it was random. Like they have like a weird. I bet if we watched them in order, we would notice there's like a comedy episode, a horror episode, a sentimental one, and I wonder if there's something like that because we keep watching the 2 and 3 on recommendations,
right?
And it's got to mean something.
Yeah, I think it is because this one's the horror episode for this season, I'm assuming.
But the horror episode for our first episode we ever watched of this was the horror episode.
Yeah, what season was that?
That was, let me pull it up
season
here.
2?
That was season 1. That was episode 106. Okay. Here we go. 106, The Harrowing, a horror episode. 206, Seance Time, a horror episode. 306, today's episode, a horror episode. We have not done 406, Tempting Fate. We did 506, The Stakeout, a horror episode. Although the next one will ruin that. 606 is Last Night of the Proms.
Could be considered a horror episode because he does come back to life.
It is not.
Maybe it's as a joke that's a horror episode because it's the horror of national pride. Maybe they're going deeper on that one.
So what I'm noticing is the second episode of the series is the best because 102, Quiet Night In, still,
yeah,
I want to watch that over and over.
Yeah.
202, 12 Days of Christine, the sentimental one, really good.
Mm-hmm.
302, The Bill. I fucking love The Bill.
Yeah, that's a great one.
402, Bernie Clifton's Dressing Room.
Wow.
602, Simon Says.
Oh, wow. Okay, interesting.
502, 702, we've not done, obviously.
Wow, so the second episodes are strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I want to do Mr. King, episode 702, and 502, Death Be Not Proud. The third episode is kind of hit or miss. Looking through here, we do have Lip Service 603 on the docket here eventually. Yeah, I bet there is like the same color note cards on the wall. Here's our comedy episode. Here's our historical one. Here's our awkward social commentary. Like, I don't know if they have to have the same ones, and because it's lining up.
Yeah,
we have not done any 4 or 5s except for 605. How do you plead?
And How Do You Plead was one with the devil, wasn't it?
Yes,
that was technically a horror episode.
The whole thing wasn't horror. It was just the very, very end. Yeah. It's Interesting. I don't know. I wonder if there's some sort of fan
Maybe it's
acknowledgement of this.
maybe it's more in the line of like classical mythology, like Faust. It's a Faustian bargain, so they're going off of Mephisto, all that stuff. So maybe they have like a classical episode
Are they like
based on traditional material, a horror episode, a comedy, but then they're all comedies. So I don't know. It's just I think it's just the luck of the draw. It's just whatever they feel like doing.
I don't know. That second episode thing's lining up pretty good.
Because the bill is just a comedy episode. It's like there's not much to it. It's just it's like a con that goes bad, but it's really well done.
But I fucking love that episode.
It's a criminal episode. It's a crime episode.
Yes, that's the other thing I was going to mention is the crime ones.
It's a noir
because there are plenty of crime ones.
Yeah,
we have not watched any. Okay, we only watched one of the first episode of any series. That was The Referee's a Wanker.
Yeah. Oh, maybe we're missing out. They do a sport episode every season, and we've missed out on all the sports episodes.
No, because the third. Okay, so it's Sardines, La Couche, which is the bus, like the train one. The Devil of Christmas, which we had to put off. That was actually originally slated, as I had to remove it.
Yes.
Zanzibar's 401, 601 Wuthering Heist, and then 701 Merrily Merrily. So I don't think it's a sport thing. I think it's a classical reference of some sort.
Or they do a holiday. They do a holiday episode every season.
I don't know. I did watch. Finally, we started to work on our movie list because on HBO Max.
Yes.
For no reason, I was on the Batman. I went, nah, and I moved down and I go, click play without even. Usually, you have that. Do you want to watch this? All right, fine, fuck it. I just went Death on the Nile. And I
okay.
Watched it.
Yeah, you told me you saw that and you didn't like it, right?
What? No, it was my first time watching it.
Right.
Did I mention it?
I think you did.
Okay.
I think you did, but I think that was at the end of the show. It wasn't on the show.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Show.
But it was because we talked about that's how we got into Murder by Death. Okay.
Yeah.
But this episode reminded me of it. That's what I was thinking. I couldn't remember.
Oh yeah, well that's why she says Agatha Christie.
Yeah.
Agatha Christie's story where everyone ends up dead.
The other thing it reminded me of was the the Corey Feldman, Joe Dante shorts that they had.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Netflix,
what?
I believe.
What? Joe Dante, Corey Feldman. What? Excuse me.
Joe Dante, Corey Feldman.
Oh no! I don't know if I want to see this.
Splatter.
Oh. How old are these?
Hold on. It's got Tony Todd. It's got a bunch of people.
So
in
it's new then.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
It's a Splatter exclusive. I've been going to Daily Motion right here just to show a second of it. But it's Corey Feldman's dead. And he invites these people over. They don't know who each other are. They don't know why they're invited. And he slowly kills them one by one. Turns out he's a zombie.
Ew.
It's like it's a bunch of shorts put together, like a little web
sounds
series.
Like it. Yeah.
There's only left channel audio on this video.
Is that the girl from Charmed?
Corey Feldman.
No, that's Corey Feldman. Who's the girl?
Hi, Johnny.
I don't know, but Joe Dante directed this.
Ooh.
How have you been?
Good.
And that's all I ever want to see of that again.
And Joe Dante just got to give it up.
I watched it on Netflix, I believe. So if you have that, it's 20 minutes long, I think. And it's still not worth the time you invest.
Yeah, I don't watch
it. Is fucking terrible.
I can't watch anything modern horror because it all sucks. Modern horror is just shit. It's all shit. It's just terrible. It has no style. It's just junk. It's really disappointing.
And they all went to. It's scary if we just shake the camera a bunch.
Yeah, but it all looks the same. It's that digital clarity ruined horror movies. You need to have it be dirty film. It's got to be scratched. It's got to look really dingy.
I want 38mm film.
Yeah, it's got to be like that. Oh, it's real. It's real. Because he could. Why do this?
My mom didn't molest me.
I'm quite normal, actually. What were you expecting, a monster? Shot in the throat. It's
right.
so uncinematic.
The next episode we'll discuss that.
We'll talk about that and we'll bring up good old George C. Scott.
Oh yeah,
we'll talk about that movie too. Okay, I think
two things trivia, then we'll get out of here.
Okay, yeah, give me some trivia.
Because I was waiting. I just realized I started to look at the trivia when we were watching the episode, and there's one bit of trivia, and the next one's spoilers, and I was like, all right, I'll wait.
Oh, okay.
As usual, there are a lot of movie references in the play. In addition to having a character named Carrie, like the film, there are several allusions to Vincent Price movies, with the gruesome multiple killings recalling the two Dr. Phoebe's films of The Theater of Blood and The Waxwork, which begins to speak reminding us of House of Wax. Whilst dismembered mannequins both recall Kubrick's Killer's Kiss and Blake Edwards' Experiment in Terror. Killer's Kiss is not a horror movie, but
I wouldn't think Experiment in Terror is a horror movie either. It's Blake Edwards. They're more of a sad, more of a comedy.
However, the most extended reference seems to be much less well-known film 1973's Arnold, which also has a dead man seeming to be an architect of revenge murders.
Okay.
Here's the spoiler one. The final twist that Maurice was not murdered, since it is Jean's heart in his stolen art exhibition, does not come out of nowhere. Just after Jean says that it's time to complete Elliot's masterpiece, yet before she injects Maurice, they can even see that he squeezes his right hand through the red binding tapes. The thing you brought up to me. I didn't.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I will give this a 7.
I agree. I think 7 is a good number for it.
It's got a 7.5 with 1,300 people.
Yeah, 7 is accurate. That's well rounded. It's deserved. See, it's a 7.
Here's the poster. Here's the main picture on IMDb. But I thought these were robots when I first went here, because look at how this crops out a frame on this little thinner picture they put. Boom. I thought they were robots.
Right.
I was like, oh yeah, okay.
Well, it's very reminiscent of Westworld. The robots in Westworld, especially the opening of Westworld, they're the white robots, and they're doing the whole like Tai Chi thing.
All right. I'll start going.
Not like William Sadler in Die Hard 2.
Oh yeah. Naked Tai Chi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chuck a fat ass over there.
Big slap a kiss.
You got some smoke, son.
You working on the infirmary, right? How my boy doing?
How my horse
dead?
Dead. What was his name? Fuck you said. What was his name? No matter what his name was, he's dead.
He dead.
Little fish. Oh God, classic.
His first night in the hole.
First night in the hole. He didn't make a sound. He cost me 20 cigarettes.
All right, let's get out of here.
All right, good night.
I feel like we barely discussed the episode, but we also did cover it fairly well because not a lot's going on and it's all very obvious. So
yes.
I was sitting there and I made a death list in order who dies. I'm not even going to touch it. It doesn't matter.
It's fantastic.
That doesn't come up. God damn. Until next time, I'm Phoenix West.
Take it.
So long. Number 9. Number 9.
Number 8.
Oh, shit. Paging Pee Wee Herman. Mr. Pee Wee Herman.
Mr. Herman. Paging Mr. Herman. Mr. Herman.
Save this. And then take a sissy tinkle.
Oh, yeah. Go tinkle.
Save that. There we go. Right, shut off the camera. We'll be back in a few minutes here.
Yeah.
Hello, citizens. Welcome to the American Self-Help List book. This 12-step program will help you become a better person that can succeed in any environment. Number 6, you are the victim. Every single negative thing you hear, regardless of if it's about you at all, regardless of that fact, it's against you. You are the victim. You're a victim of society, your race, your religion, your sex, your sexual proclivities. It doesn't fucking matter. Every single thing is against you for some reason, and then you have to like fight it for some reason with online rants and like really opinionated facts, and you just gotta keep pushing through that. Even though I said hard work is overrated, you still gotta fight to make sure we all know, these pawns in your game that we all know that you're the victim. You really are. You truly are. We're all against you. Even though we're your pawns and you're creating us, we're against you. We hate you. Every single thing we say, even if it's about nothing, it means something when it gets twisted through your little personal library here, and it comes against you, and you're the victim. How are you? I don't know how you survived so far. I really don't. You are amazing. Hello, citizens. Welcome to the American Self-Helpless Book. This 12-step program will help you become a better person that can succeed in any environment. Number 7, all criticism is an attack. Every single thing you hear, every single piece of advice you've ever been given, if someone told you this term paper that you wrote would be better if you change this, rearrange this, that's all negative. That is an attack on you. And remember, you are the victim. This guy isn't trying to help you, this teacher, this purveyor of knowledge. If you didn't have it up here, it doesn't matter. This guy's your pawn. Why is he doing this to you? It doesn't make any sense, does it? So, how the fuck is this guy going to help you? He's attacking you. He is attacking you. You got to fight this guy. You got to go against him. This guy is not going to help you. He is against you. Anyone who's ever said, I love you, but can you do the dishes more? Why the fuck are they attacking you? What do they have against you? What is it? Is it your race? Is it because you're a man or a woman? I don't know who you are, which you're special no matter what that is, but regardless of that, they're against you. And it must be for some reason. Feel free to make up your own reason and just assume that's what they meant and run with it. It's so much fun and deserved.
Hello.
We here at T-Mobile realize your Super Bowl has lots of different kinds of foods. People prefer different things. Some people prefer light meats, the light-colored meats, or slightly darker meats that are crying. You know how that goes. Some people prefer their louder meats, a little bit darker. I don't agree that we are equal because some things are a little easier to eat. Some people can't handle other things, like Asian food. Some people can't eat that. Like, you put some rice on there, some people can't handle that sort of thing. And yeah, that one's too pretty. I can't eat food that's too pretty. That's just me though. Oh, really dark meat there. There we go. Oh, maybe I'll go with that one. Yeah, look at that, a little more tender meat in there. Oh, that one can't focus. That can't be good for me. That one can't pay attention at all. And, holy shit, that one's terrified of me. That's probably gonna be the one I eat first. Just, oh my god, it knows what I'm doing. It knows what I'm thinking. That dark meat. Oh my god. I don't want to eat that one because I'll be hungry again in 20 minutes. I can't handle that.
That's so clever. Look what I found for your birthday box.
I thought you already sent it out.
No, not yet.
You fucker.
I have to go to I have to put something else in the box. I don't have it here, so I have to go to the shed and get it. And I'm still cleaning it out. So.
Your fucking murder rape shed.
No, it's all the collectible toys and shit in there. A bunch of crap. I got to clean it out because I'm moving it to my garage over here, where I'm moving to the front house. So I'll have a whole operation that's essentially 10 feet away. Just
into the
chat. It's real.
Right.
I don't know if this is a number 1 or number 7. See, like a 1 or a 7 to you.
That's clearly a 7.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's a woke Twilight Zone or what.
Maybe it's a rewind that episode. Let me switch over to B Movie Battle.
Maybe.
Bam.
Excitement.
Let me switch my background. Bam.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna solve this crime for you, Mrs. Whatever her name is from the movie of 8mm.
Oh, let me start recording then.
Oh.
Of course, I have to change my audio for no reason.
Oh my!
I would love to do this for the second time.
This fucking thing.
It's so stupid. You good?
I'm ready.
Welcome. B-Movie Battle, episode 66. Nick Cage Cast 44, 8mm, 1999 versus Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans, 2019, rather.
2009.
2009, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's get to the intros. I have two intros here because I made one a while ago for Shitty Movie Showdown where Nick Cage, I was joking that Nick Cage didn't want me to do Con Air. So it's me watching Con Air with the footage from 8mm. So I thought it's appropriate here. Welcome to the show, Phoenix West.
Dick Ticket. I can hear myself again on the recording on your end.
Fix it.
Okay, it's done. I can't hear myself anymore. This gives you a whole new perspective, though, because you had never seen The Sopranos, and now you got Tony Soprano in 8mm. Now, is he the same character or is he a different character in this movie?
Well, he gets beaten with the butt of a gun and set afire, so I don't think it's the same character. I have a small feeling.
Made me sick.
Well, I knew who James Gandolfini was because I saw The Mexican and this.
Right.
True Romance and
Tony Soprano is who he is known for forever and ever.
Yeah, can't deny that. I'm on season 5 right now, by the way.
Wow,
I am burning through it.
You're burning through them, yeah. Shit. Have you gotten to the Ben Kingsley episode yet?
No.
Okay, that one's fucking hilarious.
They just introduced Steve Buscemi on the news.
Okay,
but he's not appeared on the actual show yet.
Oh, he's coming. Yeah, he'll be there.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. Robert Loggia has showed up.
Yeah.
But all right. So 8mm. Hold on. Let me do my props. 8mm versus. How do I do this? Versus Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. Or if you watch the credits, The Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans.
Yeah.
Look at the back of this DVD or Blu-ray for Port of Call.
Oh, no, I have it. Yeah, I love that. I love that movie. That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
All right, so first we're going to discuss 8mm.
Yes, please.
Not at length. I don't want to go too late tonight. We've been going pretty late on these Nick Cage ones, and tonight's not the night. We're just going to do because I've seen this several times. I assume you have as well, 8mm.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So, generic questions. When's the first time you saw this? What do you think of it then? Or what do you think of it then? What do you think of it now?
I was trying to remember that because I don't think I want to say I didn't see this in theater. I think I rented it. I can't remember if I saw it in theater or not. I don't think I did. Which is surprising because I would have seen this movie in theater. So maybe I did. I take that back. I think I saw this in the theater. I'm almost positive that I did because I see when was the release of this movie?
You don't know?
February 26, 1999. I had to have seen this movie in theaters. I had to have. I just don't remember. I don't recollect.
It seems like something you remember.
Well, that's the thing. Because I saw Bringing Out the Dead, which came out in the winter time of that year. So Nick Cage is having a nice year here in 1999. He's got, this movie.
Not box office wise.
Well, this one wasn't a bomb. This movie was
2 years previous. Killing it.
Well, 2 years previous, that was the height of his career. That it just went. But then again, I don't know if that's true because National Treasure hasn't come out yet either, and those were two big movies. So you gotta give him credit there. He has these little spurts up and down. Like he and Travolta share one thing in common. Their box office gold stopped in 2008. That was like the last time any of them had a hit. Because John Travolta was in Hairspray, and I think Nick Cage was in a movie that made money, but then that was it, and he just he's been Nick Cage ever since.
I don't agree.
Because I'm trying to think.
Since then, Cage has had a better career.
Oh, no, I would say yes, but they've both been regulated to Redbox movies, to the Redbox movie land. Nick Cage has kind of had a little bit better of a career than John Travolta.
Not even a little. It's a fucking shit ton.
Well, John Travolta was in the great The People vs. O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, and he got ridiculed crazy, and then he also got ridiculed like crazy for that Gotti movie. And
Gotti, that was the career ender right there, yeah. And also his son died.
Yeah, that piece of shit. No.
That happened. That kind of wrecked his career too, and his wife died. So Josh Travolta's had a pretty rough last 15, 20 years.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the man personally. I'm just the movies that happened.
Well, I think that all ties in with
But think just Ghost Rider and National Treasure movies alone. Nick Cage.
Yeah.
And then he has that new movie, that Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which has done really well.
Yeah, but nobody saw it. It didn't make any money. It was kind of a bomb.
But
nobody cared.
We fucking saw it.
Yeah, I saw it in the theater.
When's the last time you were like, oh, the new John Travolta movie? Because he looks like he's doing movies that Bruce Willis is saying no to.
And Bruce Willis can't say anything anymore. Ah! Poor bastard. His brain is turning to mush. But 8mm, the budget estimate was $40 million. The worldwide gross was $96 million. So not great. Doubled. I mean, okay. I wouldn't say it's a hit, but I wouldn't say it's a bomb.
But this is also back when they sold physical copies.
Yeah.
This is probably my third copy of this movie.
Yeah, it probably did well in the aftermarket.
Yeah. Hey, I noticing a pattern here with these two movies today. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Look at this.
Interesting. That's really interesting. That's hilarious.
I never noticed that.
So did you know Russell Crowe agreed to do the film with Joel Schumacher? Yes. I did not know that.
I read the trivia when I was watching the movie.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. He agreed if he could burn the child pornography on screen. That was his one stipulation. And they were like about to shoot it. And they're like, all right, here we go. Oh, Cage wants to do it. And we can double our budget. All right, bye, Russell Crowe.
Wow.
This is before, Gladiator and all that. So I get it.
Before. Yeah,
right
it makes sense. Yeah, right before. And then I bet you then she'll never return Joel Schumacher's calls again.
If he could call.
He was dead.
His call from hell. That's where guys go.
Russell Crowe needs a shovel or a wire that goes into the grave site of Joel Schumacher in a Twilight episode.
Yeah, exactly. He needs a night call. And night call is Joel Schumacher. No, it's I saw this movie when it came out. When it first came out on VHS. Me and my friends, it was the year after. So whenever that came on VHS, me and my friends watched it, and then we're sitting there. And that's what I was starting to think when I was watching this, because I recently got in contact back with those friends from back in high school. We started talking about stuff, but 8mm was one that we watched, and that's why Frank and I were doing our impression of the killer reveal in this movie. I was doing the dorky. What did you expect? It's because that's what me and my friends were doing when we watched it.
Right.
And I just remember that during that scene, I'm like, oh yeah. Like, that's not what he sounds like, but that's what it felt like he should sound like. So me and my friend Zach from high school would do that voice all the time. What did you expect? Doesn't sound anything like him.
No.
But yeah, I have a lot of memories of this movie. I've only seen it 3 times, I want to say.
Well, another connection to Russell Crowe. Joaquin Phoenix is Max California, who ends up being in Gladiator the next year, and his star becomes just as big as Russell Crowe's, really, as time goes on. Because shit, Joaquin Phoenix nominated for a bunch of Oscars, and the Joker. I mean, he's a superstar, Joaquin Phoenix. You can't deny that.
Joaquin Phoenix is a big reason my first name.
Yeah, he's a great actor, but he's a cuckoo bird. But other than that,
I don't think he is. I think he wants to pretend like he is.
you don't think if you think it's an act, like you have to stop buying milk from the cows and their babies.
Yeah, he did a whole movie about this pretend character he was doing. Remember?
This is true.
Yeah,
but that was with his friend Casey Affleck, who no longer works in the industry because Casey Affleck got Me Too'd.
I can't imagine why.
I can't imagine why. Let me suck on your tits.
Weird.
I just want to suck on your tits. That was in that documentary they made, the faux documentary.
Oh, I never even
Did
saw
you
that.
ever watch it? It's
I remember
it's not worth watching.
Came out when he was advertising it. Remember he was doing his Joaquin Phoenix lost his mind and he's on like David Letterman. He's like,
right,
what's going on? And he gets crazy, and I was like, this is a character. I get it.
Yeah, it's fake. Yeah, it's
Andy people were like,
shit.
Oh my god, yeah.
No.
So once you like watch these people, your radar kind of expands. But people would, if you're not into this stuff and you don't know who Andy Kaufman is, you're just kind of watching it like, oh, the guy's crazy.
Right, yeah.
Like, yeah, he's trying to fool. You're like, okay.
It's watch The Prestige. If you want to understand artists and the way they think, watch The Prestige. It's a palpable movie for modern audiences who are like just into like, they may go see Jurassic World 28 and be happy with it. But like Prestige is about as far as the normie could go with, I think, artistic blockbuster. I think Prestige is the prime example of an artistic blockbuster.
I had a good experience.
Or art house blockbuster.
Watching The Prestige in the theater.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was the girl I was dating at the time, and then her really, really, really dumb friend. And I was like, that movie's amazing. I need to go see that again.
He was a twin.
And the girlfriend was like, yeah, I loved it. And then her really, 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 I can't stress really enough, dumb friend was just like, why did we go to, like, I was like, oh. Like,
don't say a word, you fucking stupid bitch. Shut up.
Shut the fuck up on the way home.
Don't ruin this for me. I'm still examining the movie.
God,
I love the Prestige. I've seen The Prestige like 15 times. I love that movie. It's such a great movie. What you want is really expensive. Mr. Angio. Mr. Angios. I've already built it.
Yeah, you got
fucking David Bowie as Tesla. The fuck? Like, what the hell? I remember seeing that trailer because I was working at the ArcLight when that movie was coming out and the trailer was on and Bowie was in it. You're just like, what the fuck is this movie? When's it coming out? You got fucking Batman and fucking Wolverine in a movie with Alfred and David Bowie. And they're all magicians.
And Black, what's her name?
Rebecca Hall.
No.
Black Widow's in it.
Black Widow.
Scarlett Johansson, yeah.
Blanked on that.
Scarlett Johansson's in there. Rebecca Hall, who was in Iron Man 3, is in there.
Rebecca Hall. She okay, so I watched The Night House. I brought this up last week.
Yes.
It was what I thought, and it was good. I can't really praise it more than that. It's a solid movie that avoids a lot of cliches, which I always appreciate.
Very good.
That's all I can give it. Definitely worth a watch. Moving on. 8mm. Like I said, seen it about 3 times. Second time I watched it, I was like, oh, okay. Because it is a movie that, just like last week, I think these two movies, he did them back to back, are very similar. Bringing Out the Dead and 8mm. Very similar movies.
Yeah.
Both directed by respected directors, one way more than the other, obviously, but Schumacher has a way better track record than Scorsese does. Let's face it.
Come on, Let's be honest.
Come on.
Come on now. Who fucking cares about Scorsese?
Did Scorsese ever come up with the idea of bat nipples? I don't think so.
Phone Booth, The Lost Boys. Come on now.
Scorsese, and then Schumacher tried to do a Scorsese movie with Falling Down, and it's good.
That's fine.
It's really good.
Yeah, Joel Schumacher has a better career than most directors.
Yeah,
he's one of those kind of middle of the road, not so great but not so bad directors.
The problem with Schumacher is there's a line with like good movies over here, bad movies over here, and he doesn't go like, oh, so close. He's like way over here or way the fuck over here, and you're like, oh,
because he's made classics. He's got classics,
great fucking movies, and he made some of the worst shit ever. And two of
made
them have Nick Cage in it because he did Trespass in 2011 with Nick Cage.
Oh, did he really? Oh, terrible. That's bad. Yeah.
Him and Nicole Kidman, it's fucking terrible.
Yeah, I never watched that one.
That's a Redbox classic.
Yes, it is.
So 8mm. It is an uncomfortable movie to watch, similar to Bringing Out the Dead. That's why,
especially with 5-year-old kids running around.
Yeah. So I had to watch this. I woke up, 7 a.m.
Did you watch it when your kids were having a party and all the kids are over? You're trying to watch 8mm in the big TV.
In a weird
Shut up back there.
I have an 8mm print of this, so I was trying to watch it in my basement. Really on my couch where I shoot my scenes with the other kids. But I was I need to watch. Can you guys? Okay, you have the week off. Can you guys get the fuck out of here? I'm trying to
go outside. Go see Maverick.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch this movie, and they kept interrupting. No, I was watching the baby, and the baby's like in his bouncer, like, yee! And then I'm like,
yeah, you're watching.
He's killing that lady. Great. Hey, and I kept like. I'm like, this is a weird juxtaposition.
Yeah.
During the finale, when he's killing the machine,
I'm
like feeding the baby food, and I'm like, oh fuck, what happened? Because he's suddenly in the next scene. I heard the rewind. I'm like, oh yeah,
you better not turn out like the machine, little man. You better not end up like this guy.
If you're gonna do anything, turn out like Mr. Soprano there,
or turn out like Dino Velvet. At least he has some artistry to his work.
Yeah, not like this. He reminded me of the girl from the Matrix when he dies.
Yeah.
Like
Kill them all, machine. Kill them all.
What cinematic?
And who shot him in the throat? Was it Clifton or the guy that was in Silence of the Lambs? Yeah.
It's the guy who I call Brandt from Big Lebowski because that's what he was.
Yes,
he's the rich hoity-toity black or white man working for the rich person.
Yes, he's the cleaner for the rich person.
His urban achievers.
Yes. Yes, and proud of them, we all are. Yes.
That guy. Yes. He shoots because he shoots with a gun. He shoots Brandt in the chest, and then he's like,
because they kill
with the arrow.
Yeah, well, they kill Joaquin Phoenix right in that sequence. He's tied up to a dart board or something. They shoot him with an arrow. They kill with an arrow or the gun with a gun. I can't remember.
He sliced him open.
Is that who with the knife? He killed him with a knife.
Yeah.
Okay.
Peter Stormare does.
Yeah. I love flattery. That'll get you everywhere.
It's a dark, depressing movie about people I hope just fall over dead. Like if I could do the Thanos snap, the whole room would just go. Like it would just be like a volcano erupted, just be ash.
Right? Yeah, they're just gross. They're gross,
it's disgusting. People. Especially when they show like he's walking through, and we haven't even set up the movie yet. But okay, so let me backtrack a little bit. 8mm. Nick Cage is a private eye. He gets hired. It's like a Sherlock Holmes intro, where he goes to the manor and he talks to the rich white lady. My husband just died, and he left so many troubles. He always did the finances, and what I'm going to do. And here's Brandt. I don't know what the fucking name is in this. And then he's like, all right, I'll do this for you. All right, so it's like a film noir voice that Cage is doing. All right, I'll track him down.
For my fee.
She's like, no, she goes, all right, everything was normal except for this, and she hands him the 8mm film, and he's like,
right.
Let's say she's like, go watch it, and he watches it, and it's
the overacting. Yeah, the overacting of Nick Cage is like at 11 in that scene.
Oh yeah,
he's ripping off hardcore.
Yeah, you want to talk about that, so go right ahead.
Well, I mean, hardcore is the only there's two movies that are basically based in this world: Hardcore and this one, Cruising, which is the Pacino
That one
movie.
goes way further.
That's like a journey into the gay persona.
S&M,
It's
New
a
York,
weird
70s.
It's a Cruising. I think is actually darker and more dirtier than this movie. I mean, Cruising's
like a Gaspar Noé movie compared to these.
Yeah, and it's a William Friedkin movie, which is so weird.
It's fucked up.
Like Cruising.
I have not seen the George C. Scott movie that we're talking Hardcore.
Hardcore is pretty genteel compared to Cruising. Is one of the hardest movies I've ever had to watch, because Cruising is not like Take No Prisoners. Like they're really going documentary style in these gay clubs, and it's just like really nasty stuff you're seeing, and you can imagine where monkeypox comes from when you see that shit. You're like, yeah, that's probably why you got monkeypox. I mean, they got guys on racks, and they're like fisting them in one scene in Cruising. It's just like, oh my god, it's really. And then Pacino gets so deep into Undercover, you think at the end that he's becoming what, which is again. That was the controversy. Was he turning gay, and they were turning him into a gay man? Because at the end he's like into it, and like you don't know if he's participating or not, and then he's losing his girlfriend, Karen Allen, who's played by Karen Allen in Cruising.
Did they come out the same year, Cruising and Hardcore?
I feel like they did. I think Cruising is 80. And so is Hardcore. I got to double check on that.
Hardcore might be like 81.
Hardcore might be 79, but let's see.
Hardcore's 80s.
Cruising is 1980.
Yeah, I know that.
And then Hardcore.
I think Hardcore is like 81.
Hardcore is 1979.
So, okay, so the year before.
It is the year before.
But
so I think, yeah.
But one is Cruising is more like a journalistic experience in that world than Hardcore.
No, Hardcore is a father looking for a daughter, and Cruising is an undercover cop looking for a serial killer who's just targeting gay men.
It felt like they were trying to do Cruising feels like the Dirty Harry with the dirty emphasis on dirty.
Dirty ass Harry.
But the reason I brought up Gaspar Noé is because that movie Irreversible that we watched. Remember that? That reminded me of Cruising, because there's scenes in there. He goes in that club and the guys are like, like fucking, god damn, like
it's like I don't want to be a part of this world. I'm okay. I'm fine. Have fun. I don't want to be a part of this.
I don't give a shit if you show a dude fucking another dude. I don't care. But when I see a fist go in there, or an instrument that's larger than I can imagine being inside my body medically,
I'm out.
Nothing that goes hit and then separates after it's in there. No,
no, thank you. I don't need a bowling pin in my anal cavity.
Yeah. But Pacino was doing a bunch of those, movies in the 70s and 80s. Like,
because he did Serpico. Yeah, he was just experimenting. Dog Day Afternoon.
That was a fun time of that era.
Yeah, you could do whatever you want. And then he started realizing, oh shit, I want to make money. I should start doing more sort of.
He already had his Oscars at that point.
Well, no, he didn't have an Oscar yet.
He didn't get one for Godfather?
No, he was nominated. He never won. He only won for Scent of a Woman.
Didn't know that. Oh, you're right. Yeah.
He only won for Scent of the Woman. And I think he won
You're much better Oscars than I am. I just assumed he won for that.
No, he never won. He only won for Scent of a Woman. He's won lots of Emmys because he's done like Jack. He did You Don't Know Jack, and then he did the Phil Spector movie, and those are really good. And he did the Joe Paterno story movie, which he was really good in. So yeah, he does better on cable, I feel.
I do want to see You Don't Know Jack.
It's very good. Yeah, it's worth watching. It's on HBO Max.
Jack Kevorkian was
it's HBO Max
on trial in my very, very small town in Michigan.
There you go.
That's why I want to see it.
Yeah, go. It's on HBO Max.
Yeah,
and so is the Phil Spector movie too. That was great too, because when he comes in with that hair and Helen Mirren's his lawyer, and she just looks at him, she's like, "We're fucked." Like she just says, "We're fucked," and like that's it. That's the case is over. And he was innocent. They proved it. There was evidence that he was such a fucking crazy man, crazy rich white man, that they just put him away because he was just nuts. But he wasn't a murderer. He just was crazy.
It's the opposite of Robert Blake. Great.
Yeah, a poor man who killed his wife, but she was a bitch, so nobody really cared.
Yeah.
His wife was a cunt. No one
Allegedly.
cared. Got killed.
Allegedly.
She's dead.
Legally.
Doesn't matter.
No, he's not, though. We said he killed his wife.
No, I think he's dead.
Oh, he is dead. Yeah.
Yeah, so no, he killed his wife. We all know
His
that.
estate could come after us because they're definitely watching.
What estate?
Kidding.
The Beretta
The
estate?
Beretta estate might come after us. David Lynch Lost Highway fans are going to get in an uproar.
Give me my lawsuit.
Give me my fucking lawsuit.
Give me my fucking lawsuit.
Oh my god.
I gotta watch Lost Highway again.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm almost done. I'm almost done watching Eraserhead. I can only do it in sections because I'm just like, the fuck.
Well, that's what
is
sucks.
this?
Is part of the experience is sitting there watching it, like watching. I'm not a guy who goes, "You need to watch this so your brain will melt." I go, "You need
Right.
to watch this to feel how angry you get."
Yeah.
Because I don't watch shit and go, "Oh, that changed my." I go, "Fuck you, David Lynch. Fuck you so bad." Like Josh
That's your
and
problem.
Josh and Jay on Red Letter Media.
Yeah.
I will never be on your side with that sort of shit. I just won't.
They like those kooky, quirky John Waters, esque movies. Just the really awkward, weird film.
John Waters, David Lynch shit.
David
I
Lynch,
can't fucking stand it.
Yeah.
I do like David Lynch a lot when he does specific stuff that's not just trying to be weird for weird's sake.
Right.
It's the Andy Warhol effect, I call it.
Yeah.
Here's some soup cans. Okay, then fuck you then. That's all. Well, Madonna 4 times? Great. Fuck you. Fuck you, Andy Warhol.
Well, and Wild at Heart, Nick Cage movie with David Lynch.
I finally watched that.
I need to watch that one. I think I've seen pieces of it, but I never saw the whole thing.
That is
I
on
love
the docket,
you.
I
love you. You get to see Laura Dern's titties. I know that. I
You
remember
do,
seeing that.
and you wish you didn't. Because you realize it's Laura Dern.
Laura Dern.
Our next episode is Amos and Andrew.
Oh, I'm
After that,
curious.
it's the Blob 58 versus 88.
Really? Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's new.
And then
When
we're
are we
doing
doing
Family
that?
Man versus Trespass, the other Joel Schumacher.
Oh my God. I don't think I ever
update
saw
on that.
Family
And
Man.
then Wild at Heart.
Wow. So we got a year before we were at Wild at Heart.
It might be a while because I put a lot of John Carpenter movies ahead of them because I want to get done with that show so we can just.
I
be
thought we were done with
it.
John Carpenter.
We still have
2.
Pro-Life, Assault on Precinct 13, Starman, Memoirs of an Invisible Man,
That's 4.
Ward,
5. Oh.
and then Captain Voyeur. I put as a little short, like 5-minute episode that we can do, and then we're doing the ranking episodes, and then we're the fuck done with that.
Yeah, but we were doing that when Adam was alive, so this is like a 2-year excursion into the John Carpenter wilderness.
Now we got one more Nick Cage ones, Amos and Andrew, and then nothing on the docket for a long time.
Oh, okay,
It's all John Carpenter after that.
Wow. Okay.
I want to be done with that. I want to be done with that show.
That's fine. But back to 8mm.
Yeah.
It's again. I think it's a good movie. I like the movie, but I guess Andrew Kevin Walker, the writer, had a tiff with Joel Schumacher. They changed the script on him, and he walked away. And he actually never talked to Joel Schumacher since, ever again, really. So I'm kind of curious what the original intent of the movie was. Was it darker? Was it more like nihilistic? Is that the idea?
It was supposed to be more dark, less focus on the family, more hardcore. But does he not realize what the NCAA or not NCAA, what the MPAA does?
I'll go say, you see that movie 8mm? Charles Barkley. I love that stuff.
Does he not realize how they rate movies?
Yeah, I know.
He should know that going in.
We should know that because Fight Club and Seven, he already had to deal with them with like NC-17 issues.
And here's the problem with Fight Club. He should realize how stupid they are. It was the same year as this, but
yeah.
Fight Club, they had a brutal beating scene where he beats Angel in the face.
Right, yeah.
With Jared Leto. And the beating itself wasn't rated as poorly with the MPAA as the crowd reaction scene was.
Right.
So him punching him in the face was a pass. And and then it cuts to the crowd going, "Oh, that was rated worse."
Right. Yeah. Well, it's the stupidity of the MPA. We don't need it. It doesn't need to exist. They should eliminate it. There's no point to even have a ratings board anymore. There isn't a code. We don't have that society anymore, so just let it go. But they have power.
I am fine with. They need to have two systems for this. Is this for kids? Like YouTube does this for kids or not for kids? That's it.
Right. Yeah.
After that, you're an adult. Do what you will.
Yeah.
But you're not an adult. This one's for you. Then here's a Pixar movie.
Right.
And that's it. That's all you really need. Like beyond that, I mean, you could have warnings saying extreme violence, or because otherwise you're showing like a fucking dick going on a throat, and like you didn't expect that. I get it, but
right.
Maybe 3 categories: for kids, for adults, dick going down the throat.
Dick throat. Holy shit.
But apparently there's a whole subcategory in the basement of this place called dick going down a child's throat.
No.
Which, did you see that when Nick Cage is in the basement there?
No.
He's trying to figure out if this girl's dead, if she's real, if she's, where she is. Tracks down to California, goes there, meets Joaquin Phoenix. He hires him to take him to these weird subcultures and these basement pornography shops.
Right.
The second one he goes in, when he's looking around and he sees a box and it's like child. That's all it says.
I remember saying that. Yeah, seeing that.
The photos and he's like,
yeah.
Puts him back down. I'm like, this is where I would take my hill to die on.
Yeah.
Cage chooses the very end for a girl who's already dead. I go, fuck no! I burn that box.
Yeah, I would kill everybody in that basement.
That basement, like I said,
there wouldn't be anybody left alive. Snap. Yeah, they'd be dead. Like
when I see the child box and just a guy casually, you're like, oh, 2 for $5, yeah, whatever. Oh, 3 for $10. I don't give a shit. Those kids are dead anyway. Yeah,
whatever. It don't matter. It's all fake. What do you want? They're 18. No, they're not. What are you talking about?
Like, no. There's a whole like mythos in this movie where snuff films aren't real.
They're real.
They're real. Of course they're real.
Yeah, it's the dark web's got them, and a lot of ex-porno stars go out that way because they're so fucked up on drugs that they have nothing left to live for, and so they just say like this is their last hurrah to pay off their family debt or something, to take care of their family or something. They get paid like big money to get murdered on screen.
Isn't life wonderful, kids?
That's a website somewhere. You can actually see a bunch of adult actors, like what was their death dates and how did they die, and like 90% of them is like drug overdose, and like 5% is snuff film. You're like, oh my god, that's fucking terrible. It's like, ooh, this is some deep shit.
I don't feel like humanity doesn't deserve any more chances. When I watch the news, when it's like the guy kills 7 kids, I'm like, oh, that's fucked up, but that's like a one-off. But then I see that what happens on the dark web.
Yeah,
it's like videos people pay for where you go kill a random citizen with a hammer,
right?
Because that shit's real, and that makes me go, all right, we had our chance. We need a.
Well, that's why I don't go to the cities; they're a mess. I'm not going.
We need a cabin in the woods thing.
Yeah, L.A. I'm never going back. That place is just getting worse and worse every day. New York, forget it. Don't even take the subway anymore. Forget it. It's just that period right now we're in. It'll get better, but it's going to take 10 years. But 8 millimeter just makes you feel happy. It's just a happy movie. Whereas Port of New Orleans,
New Orleans
is not a sequel to Bad Lieutenant, which is what always cracks me up.
Hey, we're not on that yet.
Oh, I thought we were moving on.
No, you were moving on.
I was trying to get us out of this awful dark pit.
There's a background change. There's a green screen change that has to happen.
Well, this is the versus section, right? We're versing these movies together.
No, it's a couple things I want to say about this movie, though.
Oh, okay.
I did have a little fantasy there when I'm watching the movie, and I was like, I want a whole other movie about this movie where they debate if the snuff movie in the movie it's real or not. Do you remember that snuff film from 8 millimeter? Was that real or not? And that's the movie.
It's real.
Remember the static shit mom, and he takes the toilet diary from her. He goes and visits Norman Reedus as his first role, where he's a piss and shit janitor, just like he becomes in Walking Dead.
Well, Norman Reedus isn't a very good actor. He's not that good.
He's barely in this movie.
He's barely. I mean, I think he's gotten better with time, but that's just, I think, practice. If you do 100+ episodes of television, you're going to get better. But he's just, in other movies, he's not very good.
I do like him in Boondock Saints.
Yeah.
We watched that John Carpenter movie that he was in, the not movie, TV show technically, Masters of Horror,
Cigarette Burns.
Yeah,
that was.
And I also do Walking Dead on this show or on this network. So this is my third time really dealing with the guy. And
you're a Norman Reedus expert.
I like him. I like Norman Reedus. I don't love him. I don't get the love, but I do like him. He's a fine actor from what I've seen of him.
I like him as a person. He's a nice guy, and I guess he does a lot of stuff for he rides a motorcycle a lot. He has fun with people. He's with Keanu Reeves. He's a nice guy. I don't think he's a bad guy. Just as an actor, he doesn't do anything for me.
You could say the same about Keanu Reeves. Say the same thing.
Well, sure, yeah. Keanu Reeves has gotten better with time. I think he's a better actor now than he was 20 years ago. Go look at Bram Stoker's Dracula. Holy shit, he ruins that movie.
But you watch certain episodes of Walking Dead. I'm like,
he's really getting better. He's getting better.
You can tell when he's not interested because they're not writing shit for him, and he's just like, he literally becomes Negan's piss and shit janitor for like a season and a half, where he's just mopping up. And I'm like, oh, this is where he learned how to be a janitor in prison in this episode, in this movie. My other thought was, how quickly would we fail at this case if we were handed this thrown this on our lap and go, you have unlimited money, go find this girl, and all you get is that 8mm print? How quickly would you give up and fail?
Oh, I'd solve it. I'd take care of it like that. I would go to James Gandolfini, and I'd be like, this guy's a pervert scumbag. I'm going to find out what he knows. He'll know something.
You realize how many threads deep the James Gandolfini reveal is?
Yeah.
Which I think, honestly, we would have given up by then. Okay, the two of us together, I think we would fix it. We'd be fine.
We could solve the world's problems.
If it was be by myself without any sort of pressure, I'd be like, 3 days. I'd be like, I'd be still in the library looking at pictures of people. Because he pulls up that photograph of her, and he goes, and I go, okay. So I would be lost right there, right off the bat. I'm done. I'm being honest.
I have still pictures from this movie. I got to find this girl. Well, he would know, because you would have figured out who Machine was, because that's a pretty distinct character in the back, doing the thing. So all you have to do is ask around, and be like, "Hey, where's that? You guys know?" He goes to the dark underground. Is there a guy that wears a mask and kills people named the Machine? Where's that guy at?
Two thoughts there. Second thought first. They wouldn't know, because even James Gandolfini doesn't know, because he wears the mask in, he wears the mask out. He lives in the suburbs, he lives with his mom. They don't know who the fuck he is.
No, I know, but that would be the starting point. You find out where
The biggest problem with that is they don't know who the fuck that guy is. So he doesn't know who he is until way later in the movie.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know he has those tattoos until he watches the other movies,
right?
Which is way down the trail. That's like 45 steps down the trail. I would have given up as soon as I got in that photo thing. I probably wouldn't have been able to talk the guy into letting me watch I'd be like, "Hey, I'm a cop. You believe that, right?" No, fuck. All right, bye. And I'd be stuck on the internet, which in 1999 is nothing.
Yeah. Early internet, that would have been horrible.
Yeah. Well, nowadays, so I'm thinking 99. Not nowadays. We just do the facial recognition thing and find that girl.
Yeah, you'd be done in a week.
Yeah, so back then, doing what he did, with the steps he did, I'm lost at the library looking at the photographs. Because I would be like, oh, this is so fucking sad. This is one of 10,000 boxes in here of lost kids. God damn, fuck this.
Well, he does get sad, though. Nick Cage loses himself in this world, and he can't even go back to his wife and kid. Toward the end there, he's basically PTSD'd up the ass. He's all fucked up.
That's one of the things I love about this is that aspect of it with Catherine Keener plays his wife,
Yeah.
some ugly fucking baby plays his daughter, and the Joaquin Phoenix role has a line where he goes, what does he say about the devil?
Oh, I bet it's going to be an IMDb. Hold on.
God damn it. He has a line there when he
It's going to be, yeah, I know what you're talking. I know what you're talking about.
the devil doesn't change or something like that.
The devil changes you.
Yeah, you're not going to change the
You
devil.
dance,
the devil.
You dance with the devil. You try to change the devil.
Go pale moonlight. Yeah. That's
You
what you're
dance
thinking.
with the devil.
No, he goes, you go looking for the devil.
Oh, he
He's
said,
looking for the devil to change. He's not going to change. You change.
There are some things that you see and you can't unsee them. Know what I mean? And then here it is. If you dance with the devil don't change. The devil changes you.
Yeah.
Some of your lyrics, that's cute.
But he has a scene later on where he comes back and he's watching this movie with him. They decide that these snuff films they bought are fake. It's the same actress. And then he's like, I'm gonna go head back. I'll see you tomorrow. And he goes, you want to hang out? And he's like, no, I'm good. And he's like, he's already changing you.
Yeah.
Like that part works because it's true. Because if we were in this world, it'd be hard to come back. It really, because it's not like I want to like fucking jerk off to this shit, but like,
right, yeah.
Man, it would fuck with your brain. A piece of you is gonna be gone. It's true.
And then, what are you reading? The book, California reading is Anal Secretary. Catchy title. What are you really reading? Hard to believe that book's got any parts worth highlighting. And he's reading In Cold Blood. Capote. Capote. Yeah, well, you know how it is. Yeah, wouldn't want to embarrass yourself in front of your fellow perverts.
I love that one.
Hey,
who's in that movie that they made of that book?
Oh, Clifton Collins Jr. and Daniel Craig's in the other one. But Clifton Collins Jr. is in the good one with Philip Seymour Hoffman. And Catherine Keener.
I was thinking that Robert Blake was in it.
Robert Blake was in the original.
Yes.
Yeah, the original one.
What I was going off.
Oh, okay, yeah. The very.
We were just discussing Robert Blake. Okay.
In Cold Blood, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 2 full circle moments.
Yes. A lot of loops going on here, folks.
That's how we do it.
It took him way too long to look at the actual film for details. It takes him until he's in LA and he's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, there's another third guy there. I'm like, I get you don't want to look at the movie, but that's kind of what your job is, and you're knee deep in this shit by now. So just look at the fucking movie frame by frame. Ethan Hawke, it takes him 5 seconds in that weird fucking horror movie he did with Gabagool or where the fuck that demon was. What was that movie?
Oh, say it again.
Ethan Hawke and that.
Ethan Hawke. Oh yeah, Gabool or Gabool. Yeah.
No, it's not Gabool.
It's
the Gabagool.
Gabagool.
The Big Ziti.
The big Begool.
Begool. But what's the movie called?
Sinister.
Sinister
and Sinister 2. That was
Sinister 1 I like. Sinister 2 is I saw it in the theater. Fucking hated it.
Oh yeah, it's a bad
so
theater.
Bad.
Yeah, theater. The new one looks pretty good. The Black Phone.
Oh yeah.
You ready for that one?
No, yes.
Ethan Hawke with that fucking crazy mask on.
He looks like he's fucking kids.
Well, he looks like he's Willy Wonka, but it's like
it looks 70s. Like he survived the first Purge movie and came alive in Purge 22.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
That's what I assumed. He's like, my family thinks I'm dead. Let's fuck some kids in a basement. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. No, let's move on. So that's the end of A-Millimeter. Now let's move on.
Okay.
You want to talk about Bad Lieutenant more than I do, so let me change the background here. You go ahead.
Oh no, it's Bad Lieutenant. Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans is one of those little gems that comes out of nowhere, and you're just like, "What is this movie? What were they thinking with this movie? What is it like? Who even thought to do this? And to make it a Bad Lieutenant movie, as in you're aping the title of the Abel Ferrara movie with Harvey Keitel, which was a very dark, gritty movie about a corrupt cop. But this one takes the corrupt cop, but doesn't make it gritty. It makes it more of a comedy and more of a fun movie where it's just like he succeeds at everything he does. he does everything wrong and he succeeds. And I think that was the point that what's his name? Oh God, Werner Herzog was trying to make. Werner Herzog. I did not have a knife in the gulag. Werner Herzog.
I'll eat my own shoe if he finishes that movie. Oh fuck! There's a movie called Werner Herzog Eats His Own Shoe because he bet a guy he wouldn't finish his student movie. He did, and then he ate his own shoe and made a movie out of it. Fucking Werner Herzog, I have some problems with. Let's just say that. Sorry, go.
No, that's fine. But basically, the character Nick Cage is he does everything wrong, but gets promoted. So everything he does, he keeps getting higher and higher up in the sort of the echelon of police scene in this in New Orleans. So it's just kind of funny, and that's what the whole movie's about. Is sort of like this awful person never having to worry about. It's kind of like Husbands or Match Point or very Dostoevsky, where it's like, crime and punishment, when like you do bad things and you get away with it because there's just no right or wrong in the universe. It's just whatever these characters do, they get away with it.
It's nihilistic as fuck.
Yeah.
And it's
anti-karma. Funny. But it's hilarious. Yeah.
The whole point of the movie is he's a piece of shit and it fucks around on everything. He tries to fuck up his own life, but even he can't get in the way of his own success.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the point of it. And he's the anti-hero. He's a literal anti-hero because the city's like, you're a fucking hero, man. He's like, I was doing blow and fucking that girl in the car that I arrested, but cool, man. I solved the case. Great. Okay. And I did so many illegal things in the course of that.
Well, apparently, I think they wanted to make this a franchise of Bad Lieutenant movies. And that was, I think, the original idea. At least that was the myth I heard. I don't know if it was true, but the rumor at the time was like this was going to be a franchise of films that were going to take a good actor and an avant-garde director and make a movie based on a cop in some city somewhere. So like you'd have Bad Lieutenant PortOfCallNewOrleans, New Orleans, you have Bad Lieutenant Los Angeles, Bad Lieutenant Nashville, but it never happened.
The CSI method,
basically, yeah, but it never happened because this movie did terrible at the box office.
Nobody saw
it. Nobody saw this movie. I saw it. At the Chinese theater. I went and saw it when it came out, and I tell you what a great experience to see that movie in the Chinese theater.
What a classy theater to see a non-classy movie in.
It was a $25 million budget. Worldwide gross was $10 million.
Yes. That'll kill your sequel plans right there.
But man, was it a funny movie. When I first saw this movie, I enjoyed the hell out of it. I thought it was just a lot of fun. It's a fun movie to watch. It's fun. It's just goofy. And then Nick Cage, when he tells because he's undercover trying to bust this I think it's Exhibit. He's the drug lord in the movie. He's trying to bust him, and
some rapper. That's all I know.
I think it's Exhibit. I'm trying to find where is he? He's somewhere in here.
Sorry, I can pull it up.
Never mind.
I was pulling up footage of Werner Herzog eats his own shoe.
Yeah, no, it's Exhibit. Exhibit is the drug lord, and then a lot of people are in this movie. You got
Eva Mendes,
Brad Dourif. You have
okay. Let's stop right there.
Shea Wiggum.
Brad Dourif is in the movie, and I was like, I've already seen this movie before today, and I loved it the first time. Last night I was watching it at fucking 12:30 at night. I started the movie.
Yeah,
and I was like, I don't want to watch this on Sunday. I'm watching the whole thing right now.
Right.
I'm very late watching this because it's 2 hours.
Yes.
And I'm sitting there watching it. I'm laughing along, and I'm like, yeah, this is a pretty funny movie. And then I'm like,
yeah,
Brad Dourif. He's one of those guys I have an obsession with. And
yes.
And his daughter is part of that too because she was in the Stand sequel.
Yes, she was
remake.
Yeah,
she's in a Chucky movie. He voices. I find that family, the dynamic there between those two is fascinating.
Yes, it is very much so
because they seem like they get along so well as a father daughter, and I'm like, that's like everyone's goal. She does what I do, and I love her, and they're both successful in their own right.
Yeah.
They're not making millions and millions, but they're like everyone respects the shit out of them.
Oh yeah.
Like, but Brad Dourif, Exorcist 3, that's all you need to watch.
Oh yeah. Brad Dourif is hands down one of the finest actors. I mean, just watch Deadwood. In Deadwood, he's incredible. He has a scene in Deadwood.
Why didn't you tell me he was in Deadwood?
Oh, you know he was in Deadwood?
Oh, you told me the show. We talked about it like last week.
I thought you knew he was in Deadwood.
Why would I know that?
Oh, he's the doctor. He's fucking great. In the first season, he's unbelievable. Oh, okay. He's so great. There's a scene where he's talking to God because this priest is dying. He's going crazy, and he's like, why do you do this to everybody? Like, he just has this breakdown because he was a Civil War doctor. So he had to see kids crying, and he talks about these 15-year-old boys crying for their mama, and I'm there trying to bring him to life, and I can't do it. And like, he just has this amazing monologue, just crying, just being like, "Why are you doing this to me? Why do you do this to people? And you do it to the people that love you." It's just like, oh, it's so good. The first season of Deadwood is the best. Second season's okay. Third season's fine, but the first season's amazing. It's worth watching just for the first season.
Yeah, now that I'm almost done with Sopranos.
Yeah, that'd be worth watching.
I know there's a lot in season 6 of Sopranos, but I'm like 3-4 episodes deep in season 5. I'm almost done.
Yeah,
and I didn't think about. I was looking at Deadwood, and I'm like, it's only 2 seasons, right? And I'm like. 2 or 3, right? Which is it?
It's 3. And then they had a movie. The movie sucks. Don't even bother with the movie.
Well, you told me that about Sopranos too, but I'm still going to do it.
The Sopranos movie is better, but
yeah.
That show sucked. The show, the Deadwood movie sucked.
I'm still going to watch the Sopranos movie, but the Deadwood movie or the Deadwood show, I didn't. You just kind of threw me overboard there. Now I got to watch it because Brad.
Brad Dourif is so good.
You know, like I told you, Bill Paxton. There's certain actors when I find out they're involved with a project I've been on the fence about. That's it. I got to watch it now.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Sopranos. I like Imperleone. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, don't tell me any spoilers with him, but I love him, and he's not in the show enough, if you ask me.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
He's the main reason I started watching the show. Finally, I was like, I knew he was in it before that, but I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll watch it. And I'm like, oh, he's in like every 3rd episode. Come on, come on, what a waste.
Tony T.
He just got out of rehab when I'm watching.
Yeah, I died for you, T. I go stand up to the gates of hell with you, T.
What you did, and I wish you didn't spoil that last week.
Oh,
who really killed his dad?
Yeah.
I went through that whole sequence, and I'm like, oh well, it's not that guy.
Yeah.
Luckily, and don't correct me, I don't remember who you said actually killed his dad. I'm pretty good about spoilers, and I went, oh no, and I pushed it out of my brain.
Well, no, it wasn't.
No, don't tell me
who set it up. It wasn't. Yeah, it's not like the who. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to. I want to watch the movie fresh, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it. You fucking gabagool.
Oh my god, get some gabagool. Got no fucking smoked turkey in here. Fuck you.
Manicotti. We made manicotti yesterday. So
yeah. Oh, I tell you, if you watch Sopranos, you're going to be wanting Italian food.
God damn, I was, and we made
like
it. And
Jones, and yeah, you're going to have
now. I want to go downstairs and get some more because I was like, we're making 2 pans because I know on Saturday I'm gonna be done, and I'm like, I want some fucking manicotti. Like that's what I want. I've had that several times in my life, and I'm like, it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Big ziti. They also discuss even more. Big ziti's kind of lame, unless you put like either eggplant or you put zucchini in there.
Right.
And I feel like they don't do that when you buy it, so you have to make it yourself.
Well, you have to dress it up. Yeah, you have to make it your own version.
Because if you just get store bought, it's just like cheese, meat, sauce, and maybe a second cheese, and it's like so fucking bland. But you have to have eggplant or zucchini, otherwise, don't even fucking waste my time with a big ziti. Don't even come near me.
Yeah.
So Bad Lieutenant. Sorry, continue.
No, pretty much that's the movie. I mean, Bad Lieutenant is what it is. It's worth seeing. I think if you're on the fence about like was that a good movie or not, no, go watch it. It's one of Nick Cage's best performances. He's having a lot of fun. He's good in it. He's having fun. It's his fun movie. I don't know what oh God, that pillow.
Oh, will this new pillow help you?
Is this weird? Yes, it is.
I have a new pillow for my birthday.
Oh no.
I know you're not a fan, but all right, ready?
Oh, look at that. Oh my God, it's
Prison Mike.
Oh, Prison Mike. Okay, it's The Office. Oh, I like The Office. I just haven't seen it all. But we're gonna have to hurry up because I'm getting attacks here from the poop factory.
Go right. Yeah, no problem. Okay, couple things.
Go for it.
I like them. I love the movie. First of all,
yeah, it's great.
I don't want to say I like. I love. There's so many awful shots in this movie that go on way too long. Though the alligator.
It's that weird digital. It's weird digital pictures.
It's like they're torturing animals with a camera. The iguanas. One of them snaps at the fucking camera because it's a fucking iguana. And there's the third time when they do it. I don't remember the fuck it was, but I think they got like the dancing soul part where they shoot the drug dealers.
Shoot him again. His soul's still dancing.
Yeah, he does a lot of coke and he does a lot of
crack. He's just having a lot of fun.
I did like the fact that his dad in that movie. So I'm trying to remember what the character was. His dad in that movie is Dennis and Deandra's grandpa, and It's Always Sunny. Where he plays Nazi.
Okay. There you go.
And he's in a bunch of stuff. You know who he is. There's a surveillance team. I meant to bring this up and get a timestamp, but when the fuck was that? It was when they're watching Exhibit's house before he meets him. And I'll bring up the timestamp and find it, but why the fuck? I'll show this because this is right here on my timestamp. Why the fuck just halfway through the movie? Okay, in the beginning, Cage sounds like Cage, right? Just he's got the back problems and he works because he jumped into the water with Hurricane Katrina to save that guy and fucks up his back. And he talks normal. And then suddenly, like halfway through the movie, he starts talking like Ryan Phillippe in Away the Gun.
He does.
You notice that, right?
It is. It's very noticeable. Yes, I forgot. Yeah.
Because listen to this. Okay, here's Ryan Phillippe in Way the Gun.
Heterosexual? Can I ask you something? Sure. Are you a faggot? See, you asked me if I was heterosexual. I asked you the same question, only I was clear about the answer I was looking for. It just...
Simple little scene, right? Okay, so here's Cage talking to his dad on the porch in the fucking crack shack that his dad calls a home.
Oh, I'm not in any kind of shape to take on something like this. Look, I get home from one meeting, I lie on the couch and I wait till it's time for the next meeting. That's all I can do right now.
Well, let your wife deal with her. They'll get along like sisters.
Why is he suddenly go along with
it? It's like Jimmy Stewart.
Go along with he suddenly starts sticking his tongue up in his mouth to like mask a voice. And
I think he's getting more and more unhinged, and that's what he's trying to do, I think.
But it doesn't work. It's suddenly like one scene I was like,
it's a bold choice. Yeah.
But it's the exact voice. I've seen another actor doing a better movie.
Yeah, I have to go use the bathroom real fast. Give me like 5 minutes.
You go right ahead.
You have to take over.
Turn your camera off, or I'll remove you. So he does the Ryan Phillippe voice in that, and I can't understand why. And if you haven't seen Way of the Gun, check out Way of the Gun because it is a far superior movie to this, if you ask me. But it's not a well-known movie. It's Ryan Phillippe, Benicio del Toro, a bunch of fucking James Caan. A lot of people. I can keep going. I can't think of other people in the movie. There's a lot of Taye Diggs, Juliette Lewis, Jeffrey Lewis, her dad. A lot of fucking people in that movie. Anyway, great movie. But I don't know where Cage decides, Go start doing this. Why am I doing this? Oh, are you a faggot? Like he asked that. It's the same fucking dialect. It's very strange. But he starts doing it about halfway through the movie, and it's coming after a number of things happen in the movie where he's already in the very beginning. Him and Val Kilmer are partners. They decide to let this guy, and they take like bets on when this guy is going to drown in his jail cell during Katrina. And Val Kilmer's like, all right, seriously, let's get the fuck out of here. And Nick Cage is like, all right, I'll save the guy. All right, here we go. Jumps in the water, and then immediately cuts to a doctor going, well, your spine's all fucked up, and good luck with that. That shit's for life. And I felt that very hard. I'm on my third back surgery already. Number 4, not far in the horizon. I'm looking over here in the horizon of my life. It's not far out there because not much better. I heard some verbiage after my back surgeries where if you have one back surgery, you're gonna have a second. I'm like, wish I knew that. Because here I am at number 3, waiting on 4. Okay, so okay, he has to deal with that, and he starts taking like Vicodin, and then he quickly, descends into cocaine and drugs and gambling, and he's fucking Eva Mendes, who's a prostitute in this movie, seen here above my head, right there, and he owes money to Brad Dourif. He owes $3,000. Eventually, he owes $5,000. There's a lot of unrealistic parts of this movie where Brad Dourif shows up at the cop station to file a complaint against the cop for owing him money on illegal betting. That doesn't make any sense. Why? There's a lot of like heightened realism in this movie that doesn't make any sense, and especially in the wrap up at the end. But I'm not going to get there yet. I want to wait for Dick. I'm just covering while Dick takes a massive dump, if you will. Because if you're stuck in your house and kidnapped like we are, they feed you bad food. I did make some food, and they let me have a family here. That was nice. That was nice of them. But you eat some bad food, you got to take a lot of shits. So Nick Cage protects Eva Mendes a couple times. One of them being he kicks a guy out of the apartment, takes his coke, no harm, no foul. Nothing ever pops up from that. The other time, though, he kicks a guy out. That guy is really connected. And then his dad, that guy's dad, and his 2 associates come after Nick Cage for $50,000. So the whole plot of the movie really is less Exhibit, which is that Exhibit? Dick said Exhibit. I just assumed he was correct on that. And how he killed 5 people in New Orleans, 3 of them being two or 3 of them being Exhibit, 3 of them being children, like fucking tiny little babies. There's a kid who witnessed this, and he interviews the kid by torturing his grandma. He takes care of the kid for a while. The kid vanishes, and then he goes back to the old folks' home to talk to the grandma some more. Takes the oxygen out of the old lady's nose and twists it up, and she's like, he's talking to the grandma of the kid up above her because she's doing her hair, and he's like, she's not going to last long, so what do you want to do? And they have like a 12-minute scene, and this lady's off oxygen. I'm like, she's dead already, man. Sorry, man. He finally tortures the old lady and just scares the shit out of her, where he pulls a gun on her, and then she gives it the information and puts her back in her nose after a couple takes. Puts the gun back to her head and is like, you pieces of shit, you're the ones ruining this country. Your people are, your daughters and sons and grandkids are waiting on your inheritance, and you're fucking it all up. I should shoot you right now. He does the whole thing, and he leaves. And he gets caught by both those 2 previous scenarios that is mentioned, where they come and take his gun. So therefore, he's no longer a bad lieutenant. But he continues the investigation for some reason, where he immediately goes undercover with Exhibit. There's Dick. And then he's like working with Exhibit about how he's going to tell him about the scores, if they're safe or not, and if the police are coming. And there's that whole thing. Welcome back, Dick.
I had a cleanse. I mean, a lot more fruits and nuts the last couple of weeks, so I think it's cleaned me out.
You got to do, man. Not a problem.
It happens.
I was talking about his descent into drugs. That's really what was going off there is.
Well, because he's on the painkillers for the back injury, and it's just the laundry list of drugs after that, and it's just that slippery slope of just getting high to feel better.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going over, but I was going in the detail as well as
No.
how the drugs are affecting the individual scenes. And, I love the
Right.
scene where he's holding the gun to the old lady's heads.
Yes, shaving.
You're ruining this fucking country. Your grandkids are waiting in their inheritance, and you're fucking hanging out here.
I should fucking kill you now.
I should fucking shoot you right now.
I should shoot you right now. It's great. It's so much fun. It's hilarious.
And he gets his
It's funny
gun taken away, and his stepmom is Stifler's mom from American Pie.
Yes.
And she's an alcoholic. Meanwhile, she's bitching about how her husband is an alcoholic and has to keep going back to rehab. And then they have Eva Mendes come there because she's running from that guy's father, and they don't get along because she has drugs on her. And they have a long, awkward scene there. And it reminded me of like the house reminded me of the house from Fletch 2.
Right.
You remember that?
I never saw Fletch 2, but I know what you're talking about.
Fucking terrible.
It's not good, yeah.
It's one of my many reasons I don't watch comedy sequels. Fletch 2 is fucking terrible.
Yeah, it's
Fletch 1.
Yeah, Fletch 1's fun. Yeah, Fletch was good. I like the Fletch 1.
You got to put up with a lot of Lakers jerseys, but
Well, have you ever read the Fletch books?
No.
I got a bunch of them when they were on, so I haven't read any of them. But it's like very like it's pretty much it's written like dialogue. It's like that rapid fire dialogue between characters.
Fucking
one of those stories. It's like a detective story, and it's like there's no because I read like the first Fletch book. I was trying to see if it was anything comparative to the movie. Nothing at all. I mean, it is not. It is nowhere near Chevy Chase. Just isn't.
Okay, well, none of the lines he says can possibly be from anything because it just came straight from cocaine.
Yeah, Chevy Chase and cocaine. But I love the lines in Fletch though, where he goes, "Oh, cash Fletch. Yeah, I saw my pimp today." Because he's getting his alimony to his wife.
That was the first movie that introduced what alimony was to me.
Really? Oh, interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
I was like, why would you have to pay? Okay, that doesn't make any sense. I've never been corrected or updated on that information since then.
Really?
Well, I've never known one person who actually has to pay alimony.
Yeah, because it's not child support. That's alimony's for spousal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think alimony you only have to pay for half the length of the marriage.
I wouldn't doubt it.
But in movies, it's like that's the rest of your life, man.
Right? Yeah.
Like, I don't think so.
Yeah,
That's
I don't know
not
how
fair.
that works. Yeah.
Anyway,
well, men always get the short end of the stick.
Well, yeah, just because we have the biggest stick.
That's right. Goddamn right.
Okay, so eventually he starts working for Exhibit. He clues him on some drug deals. His deal is to get $15,000 a piece of the deals, just so they don't get caught. And he rides along with them. He pulls a gun on Exhibit and he demands his money, but the whole time he's like snorting coke and he's just going crazy at this point where he's losing control. But I think that's kind of the point, which is he's not actually losing control.
Right.
But maybe he is.
Well, that's the thing.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, he's not out of control because he's keeping it together and getting the case solved. Like everything works out. He achieves his goals in the movie. Like everything he does, it works out and he does it.
That's why I was saying we need to save more time for this because there's actually more to discuss.
Right.
8mm is very straightforward. It's a solid fucking movie, but it is straightforward.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about the 15th time they watch a gangbang movie. Remember the Enema movie they watched where the girl's like, and they cut?
No, yeah. I don't
know what to talk about there.
No, the scene where they're watching the snuff films and he goes, "Oh, Snuff 2, the resurrection, man."
That part's fun.
Yeah, that was funny because they find out that half of them aren't real.
None of them. No. They never found a real one except for the one that's the premise of the movie. But this one, there's a lot more going on because is it drug induced? And I do have another theory I'm going to float here in a minute. Because, okay, he was fired. He has Exhibit. He's working with Exhibit for drug money. Those 3 drug guys show up And Exhibit already has a shotgun below his desk that Nick Cage saw. That's why he got up and went around the desk and was snorting coke there and smoking crack. And he makes Exhibit smoke out of the crack pipe. But he's like, "It's my lucky crack pipe. It's the one he stole in the beginning." And I have some questions on this. When he pulls it, we talked about this scene before. It's the only scene I've ever brought up from this movie. When he pulls over that couple, they came on the club, and he goes, "What do you have, drugs?" And he's like, "Oh, you got these drugs. What are you going to do to get out of this thing?" And she's like, "Eh." She starts jerking him off. But she's facing him, and her legs are like very close together, right? And then his pants are his dick's out of his pants at this point, I assume. But she's not bent over, her legs are not spread, but he's thrusting and she's standing still. And I'm like, I always assumed he fucked her over the car, but that's not my memory is not what happened because I'm watching this, I'm like, what is happening here? I don't understand what position they're doing.
I think he can't feel anything, so it doesn't matter. He's just so fucked up, it wouldn't matter. He could be fucking the tailpipe, literally, and he wouldn't know the difference.
But it's here's the scene. And I'll play it because you don't see anything.
No.
You stand there and you watch. You watch her.
Okay, look.
Yeah.
She's thrusting, he's thrusting. Her legs are not open even wide enough to get a dick in there.
I think she's just doing it because it's the situation.
Is he fucking her thighs? Like between her thighs and just...
It's like a Cinemax After Dark movie.
Watch your fucking girlfriend.
You watch your fucking girlfriend.
What are we watching here? It's that scene.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so it's a dark movie. This is why I put these two together. They're both very dark.
I don't know if it's that dark, honestly. I would think this would go better with bringing out the... No, I would say 8mm and Bringing Out the Dead would go better together than these two.
Yeah, but the problem is they came out the same year, so I don't know.
Well, that's what that would be the connecting tissue.
But I like these two because I like to see like how he grew.
Right.
It's similar style movie. I don't know.
I'm just curious to see what his real tattoos, because he talks about how he's got a bunch of tattoos.
You think they're like Priscilla or
yeah, like he's got Elvis. He's got he's gonna have Elvis tattoos all over himself, but he likes the old fat Elvis. He doesn't like the Marine Army Elvis. He likes the
no
post comeback special Elvis.
Yeah, you got to have just before heart attack Elvis.
Just before he died on the toilet Elvis.
So my question, because eventually him and Val Kilmer arrest Exhibit. Val Kilmer is debating killing him. It's the same scene in the opening where Val Kilmer is actually more piece of shit than Cage is. Where Kilmer doesn't want to save the guy, he leaves. Cage saves him, ruins his life. Kilmer wants to shoot the guy, he goes for his gun, and we shoot him. No big deal. He's done. He's like, handcuff the guy. All right, handcuff him. Just keep saying it. They decide to arrest him because he takes the gun away. And then from that scene on, it's just like he goes back to his precinct and that guy's there like, hey, I just want to say my dad didn't show up, so we dropped our charges and we withdrew our complaint against you. And then Brad Dourif interrupts that conversation going, hey, your debts are all paid off. They won. They won by 3. You didn't watch the rest of the game. It was crazy.
It's like a sitcom ending. It's so sitcom. It's just bizarre.
And the second Brad Dourif turns his back, and his captain, that black dude who's in the Sopranos as well.
Yeah.
He goes, hey, we just found out that the crack pipe end scene. Your partner found it. It's crazy. Isn't that great? That's all wrapped up too. All right, bye. And then it's like he goes to Eva Mendes, and she's off drugs now, and he found the silver spoon out of nowhere. He's like, it's not silver, but I found it. Here it is. And I was like, it reminded me of like if you got in creative writing class in high school, if your teacher wrote a note that said, hey, none of your plot points are wrapped up at this point. None of you have a lot of loose ends. And the high schooler went, this solves. All right, bye.
Fuck you.
Fucking ending.
Right. Well, I think that's the point. It's supposed to be. It's pretty funny.
It is, but that's what it reminded me of. Just like a writing experiment of a high schooler who went, "Fuck you, lady. All right, there's your endings. All right, bye."
Right.
Here they all in 1 second. Here, it's like a comedy sketch. If it was like a Naked Gun thing,
It is. It's very SNL. Like, it's just a bizarre way to end it. It's just, but it works because you're like, what else was going to happen? It's like this guy's the luckiest bad guy in the world.
And okay, so I'll finish off this last thing here, and then I'll get to my main question for the episode. Okay, he gets everything solved. He goes back. Eva Mendes is clean and sober now because she went to some meetings with his dad.
Right.
And so she's there, and they leave. Cuts to 1 year later.
He's
no longer the bad lieutenant. He's the bad sergeant. And Eva Mendes is pregnant. His dad is sober. His dad's wife is sober. They're all drinking water. They're toasting. Oh, such great moments. Great. So everything we've seen is great and happy.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to Nick Cage like trying to do drugs in a hotel where he's like, and he gives up. And he's like, this is so boring. And then a guy walks in, room service, and he's like, "You order this, a chicken palm?" He's like, "I didn't order anything." He's like, "Oh, wrong number. You're that guy that saved me." And it's the guy who saved him.
Yeah.
He talks to him and he helps him. They go to an aquarium and they sit there, and then you get the assumption he's going to come clean now. He's like, drug wise, he's going to be clean. My question is, when does Nick Cage die in this movie? Was it during the shootout?
You think it's all a dream?
You have to think about that.
I don't know about that. I never had that thought watching the movie.
It's okay. So there's a big shootout, and then he goes back to his dad's place. And while he's in that shootout, the drug guy goes, "Make sure you cut that, otherwise you don't want to kill whoever gets that."
Right.
That's the Cage immediately snorting that shit raw, snorting a bunch of it with the stepmom present. She's like, we both love our poisons. And then it's just fucking great news from there on. And he falls asleep like next to her on the couch. And it's just such an awkward scene. I'm like, is that where he died?
Maybe.
Because it really would explain the rest of the movie. And why it's all like wrap up.
Right. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's the point. It's just you need to just you have to have your own thought. It's your own reasoning.
Well,
I leave it open-ended for you to discuss with your friends.
Here's the thing with my own reasoning. I don't think he dies. I think the point of the movie is he's a piece of shit and gets away with everything and just gets what he wants.
Sure.
And everything happens to work out and he moves on. Because that's what I think the point of what Werner Herzog is trying to say. You don't have to be a good guy to get good things. Pieces of shit get good things too.
Well, movie. Yeah, well, it's like I said, it's the Crime and Punishment. It's Woody Allen did that a lot with Match Point and a few other movies where the bad guy gets away with it at the end, and there's no repercussions because it doesn't matter. The universe is indifference to it. Nothing matters.
Yeah. There's a difference between when your main character ends up being bad, but compared to this sort of thing, which is rare, where your main character is bad the entire way through and still gets away with it. There's not a whole lot of movies that follow that trajectory.
Yeah.
That's why I think I like it better that way because I think it's funnier. And I think that's Werner Herzog has a fucked up sense of humor.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's what he's going for. But I also do appreciate the fact that it's so night and day in those transitions I was mentioning where he falls asleep next to his stepmom.
Yeah.
You can clearly see that he died there because it is like, this is fixed. This is fixed. All right, here's a promotion. Here's a baby. Like, it's just so like.
Do we know that for a fact? That I've never seen that though in any kind of essay form or article form regarding this movie. I've never seen that suggestion.
Well, I didn't think about it the first time I watched it because the first time I watched it, I just assumed the A side I just mentioned there, which is the bad guy, the the terrible person's rewarded for no reason because life is not a movie.
Yeah.
That's how I watched it the first time, and the second time I was like sitting there. I'm like, is he dead? Like, because everything is just like, and it feels like a dream scenario where you're like, and he's like passing out, dying next to his stepmom, and that's just the last thing he was like. That's what he's picturing in his mind.
Right.
I don't want an answer. I don't need an answer. I just is throwing it out there because that's what I was thinking about when I was watching it the second time. I thought it was more interesting than it's more interesting than 8mm. I'll give it that.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So now let's get to our final segment of today's episode, if you will, which is the verses. I need your attention here.
Yes.
8mm versus Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. Boom, 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 boom. Very similar backs. Because look at this shit.
That right there is just, it's the same designer. It has to be. Is that the same? Now look at Snake Eyes. The Snake Eyes has the same background.
No, Snake Eyes is different, but
yeah, that's so
8mm
weird.
Columbia First Look Studios by Bad Lieutenant. So not even. Yeah, it is crazy because look at that 8mm.
It's
Bad Lieutenant. Oh, sorry, Bad Lieutenant.
You can almost flip it and be like, yeah, this is 8mm right here. Bad Lieutenant, New Orleans.
So here's a Bad Lieutenant.
Yeah.
And you got 8mm right here. And
yeah. And 8mm's got 4-star rating.
Isn't that crazy?
On the back, yeah, go figure.
Okay, so I kind of think we're going to have a little bit of a disagreement here, and that's fine. But versus, should I start with specifics, or let's start with the overall rating of the movie, I guess. Which movie do you prefer? Which do you think is better?
Oh, Port of New Orleans, definitely.
You prefer that?
Bad Lieutenant is a better movie, yes.
Okay. So what do you give this movie out of 10?
Oh, Bad Lieutenant, I think I gave it an 8 out of 10.
What about 8mm?
8mm is about a 6, 7.
Wow.
Probably 6. Because it could have been really good, but again, there's something off about it. I mean, it's fine. But again, it's like in that era where 7 had just come out and then 8mm comes out and Hardcore was already made and Cruising was already made. So, I don't know. I feel like 8mm, for it being so dark, it's familiar territory. We've already seen it.
Okay. Interesting.
Whereas Port of New Orleans, Bad Lieutenant is completely bonkers, and the movie like that just don't come around too often.
I will not disagree with anything you said. However, I will disagree.
Oh wow!
I prefer 8mm.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Like I enjoy both movies equally, but like, 8mm is just dark. It's just a dark movie.
Yes, it is dark, but I like the filmmaking better.
Yeah. Okay.
The filmmaking alone makes this movie. I like the scenes they set and the locations they're in, and the character Catherine Keener is really great in the movie.
Yes.
Although so is Eva Mendes, which surprised me.
Mm-hmm.
She's fucking solid in that movie, and they find excuses to have her in the movie more. Like she's at a hotel and he goes and saves her because the guy ran away, the kid. So he drives her back, and I'm like, this is just an excuse to get Eva Mendes in another scene.
Yeah,
but
right.
And I'm fine with it because she's here and she's actually doing a really good job in this movie.
Yes,
I wish she had more to do, but I also really wish Catherine Keener had more to do in that movie.
Yeah,
because she has nothing to do but come back, come on, I'm leaving you. And
where are you?
I hate that women have those roles in manly movies.
Right, yeah.
I'm the not even damsel in distress. She's just like the bitter wife at this point.
You're the provider. You're supposed to provide for me. Where are you?
Well, I'm also watching Sopranos.
I'm providing for you.
All Edie Falco has done in 5 seasons is like, okay, Ro, did you hear that he's gonna leave her? And then no way, and that's all she's done. I'm like,
so in Sopranos right now, did they get divorced yet?
They're going through it.
They're going through the divorce. Okay.
Yeah.
So that part where he punches out the wall, that already happened.
Yeah, that already happened.
Okay, that'll happen.
Bear in the backyard. That was the episode I just finished.
Okay, yeah. So she's going to have an affair soon with David Strathairn, and he has the best line in the show's history.
Is it an affair if they're already separated?
Well, they're separated, but whatever. But David Strathairn says, "You used the only weapon you had, your pussy." It's the best line. I was just like, that's fucking great. That's so awful too, because poor Edie Falco just wants someone to love her, and he like throws it in her face like it was all a ruse.
Furio.
Yeah.
Left.
And he's gone. He never comes back.
No, I assumed as much.
Yeah.
Okay, so gone. 8mm, I gave an 8.
Yeah, okay.
I will say this. Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. I liked it a lot more on second watch. So I would imagine my third watch, I'll like it more. I gave this a 7.
Yeah.
I like it's more imaginative, and it is a lot more fun. You can't say it's not more fun. Like, that's an impossible statement.
Yeah.
This is a much more fun movie.
Yes.
I just don't like Werner Herzog as a director. But I think a lot of it worked in his favor of this movie. I just wish the studio was like, Werner, go fuck yourself. No 12-minute shot of an iguana going at the camera while Nick Cage is in the background. No.
I cannot lose that shot. It's too important to film. I did not have the digital projectors in the gulag.
Well, I was watching this with my wife, and she was like, she's getting comfy at night because it was 12:30.
Well, shit, yeah, you fall asleep at that point.
And we get to the iguana scene, and I'm sitting there like,
huh? Fuck
you. It keeps going, and they already did it with the alligator where it's just like out of focus, and it's terrible, like HD.
It's got that weird HD. I think the whole movie is shot in HD. I don't think this is on film. I think the movie is an HD movie. I think.
I can't imagine Werner Herzog working with HD.
Well, he does. I think he does. He doesn't mind that. I don't think he's that much of a stickler for film. I think he'll use whatever tools he has for the film. I don't think he cares.
I don't know, but 8mm has a 6.5 on IMDb. This has a 6.6. So the internet says I'm wrong.
Well, the internet's stupid. We already know that, though.
But I'm looking to see what this is shot on because I'm curious. Because
I think it was HD. I wouldn't be surprised if it's digital film. If Port of New Orleans was a digital movie.
Negative format. Kodak Vision.
For Port Call?
35mm.
Okay.
Yeah, the reason that stands out so much, the alligators or the iguanas, is because it suddenly switched to bad, like camcorder HD.
Yeah,
it looks terrible.
I think that was I think that's on purpose.
But he didn't even color correct it. Is the problem?
Yeah, I think that's
he let it look like shit.
Yeah,
and that's my problem with Werner Herzog is I don't like experimental, especially in the middle of your like pretty good movie. Like, why suddenly the 5 seconds of experimental? And the experimental doesn't have anything to do with the main character because they're supposed to be imaginary iguanas. So, what are these fucking iguanas doing on my desk?
Oh man, get out here! What's going on over here?
Those aren't iguanas.
What are you doing?
You know the first theme song I ever had for Nick Cage Cast.
Yes,
has that clip in it at the very end.
Oh my god!
I'm wondering if I can even find it.
I don't know. Probably not.
Nick Cage Cast. There's no video here, so it's just gonna be audio. Okay, here we go.
Uh-oh.
I was a little drunk. Plus, I was horny.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Screw you in love!
I'll be damned if I didn't get
Please see we cut the chit-chat. A-hole. How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned?
Hey, have you ever been dragged to the sidewalk and beat until you
pissed blood?
What is that? What is that? What is that?
Butthole!
What's in the bag? Sharks or something?
Oh, no, not the beast!
What are these fucking iguanas doing on my coffee table?
LIW Nick Cage Cast.
There you go. See, that's a good flurry of edited Nick Cage scenes.
Yeah, that was just audio.
That's
I
very
can do it
good.
video, but I don't want to. I'm not going to do it.
That's pretty solid stuff right there.
You can't go wrong with this. I'm not going to top that. What am I
No,
going to?
you really can't. I'm sorry,
No.
you really can't.
Yeah. So, okay, we're done. I voted 8mm above it, and I don't want to disagree with you and say my vote matters more, but I did make the rankings.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you either. That I could see how you could like this movie more. I really do.
Well, I have more of a personal attachment to this movie because I went and saw it with my buddy, and afterwards we went and had pizza at California Pizza Kitchen. It was like our date night. It was hilarious, and that was our joke throughout the whole day because we both knew this movie was coming out, and this was like the only theater in town that was showing it, and this was like the only theater in the state of California showing this movie because it was not released wide. It was limited release, and it was gone in like 2 weeks.
That's what happens when that's
Yeah.
how you make half your budget back.
Yeah, it was just.
What do you expect?
An experience to go see it in LA at the time, living in Hollywood, going to the Kodak Theater, Chinese Theater, and then going to the Kodak Theater Mall and eating dinner at CPK.
Back when all that shit existed.
And now it's long gone. Now it's all gone.
Long gone.
It's just weird.
You know what's sad is I asked my wife, I'm like, can we find for my birthday, can we find a Greek place? And I told her the story about the place we're by the Kodak Theater in between Grauman's and the Kodak, where they had those bowls and you could just dip your thing in there and you would pay. I told you about this place. You didn't remember it.
No, I don't remember it.
It was like their little schlop. Like it was the spinach dip, and they had the hummus.
Right, yeah.
Little piece of pita. And that's all you did, and you just ate it. And I'm like, I want to find a fucking place like that out here. Why is it so hard? We did find it. We got
really. No, because they're all the Greek places should have hummus, or at least
they have hummus, and that's it. They don't have. I want somewhere you can get all those dips.
Yeah,
and this cannot do it.
Wow.
Anyway, here's my rankings of Cage movies on the left, Cage performances on the right. I did put Bad Lieutenant a little further down than you would like, probably on the right side, but quality of movie, I put 8mm at number 8. That was not coincident. That was just random.
Wow, you put Bad Lieutenant below Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance. Wow.
Performance wise,
quality of Cage, yeah.
I told you I didn't like what he was. I think he was just trying to do Rage Cage, and it just felt forced at a certain point. It felt like.
What are you talking about? I have a different voice, and you just don't like it.
Are you a faggot? I asked you the same question. Only I was direct about the answer. I was like, it's the same voice.
Are you a faggot?
But I did like it. It was a simple performance in 8mm. I didn't go crazy and put it like way up top, but the movies themselves are better than the performances by Cage. If you ask me,
okay,
although he is good in both movies.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's
okay. Yeah, that's fine. Like that's fine. We all have our own opinion. That's fine.
Yeah, these are just mine,
I'm not going to misjudge your list here. The what have you.
I do adjust my list over time as well. So some of these times, sometimes if you ever look closely at like episode per episode, they switch.
Some things switch over. Yeah.
Yeah. I did get rid of all the cartoons and stuff like I mentioned last week, but yeah, it's a good, both solid performance, both episodes, both movies, I should say. So we got 3 out of 4 because Running with the Devil. But like if you're looking for a good, let me grab this. If you're looking for a good, crazy Nick Cage weekend, you can't do worse with this.
That's a pretty dark. Yeah, it's a very dark trilogy right there.
They're all dark, and they're all, this is important, different enough.
Yes, they are.
Like, they're not dark in the same way. Like, this is a dark character study. And dark as far as, like, a city goes overnight and saving these people's lives. This is dark because he's just a drug addict, and New Orleans is fucked up. And this is dark because it's a whole world you don't want to be a part of.
Yeah.
And if you do want to be a part of it, do not listen to our show.
No.
I don't want to know you. I don't care.
I don't want to look at you. I don't want to know you. I don't give a shit about you.
Okay, last thing before we go. I'm going to look this up. When I moved down to New Orleans, it was about a year after the Hurricane Katrina came through. So this movie came out after that. So Hurricane Katrina was 2005, I want to say. I moved down there in 2006.
Mm.
In this movie, they show them. And I'm glad they did because there's X's on buildings. Do you see these in the movie?
Yeah.
So it's like an X with red spray paint. And like in the top quadrant, it would say like X3. And the right one would say like -3. And the bottom one, something. And the left one, normally nothing.
Right.
The theory was, my friend goes, when I was down there, he goes, I hear that one of those boxes represents how many people died inside that building.
Mm.
But we looked at them forever and we worked around them for a year and a half, and I never found any like correlation between what could possibly be bodies.
Okay.
I'm looking up right now for my first time here on the show. Spray painted FEMA X still marks the storm in New Orleans. Okay, here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. So the top block shows the date that the house was checked.
Okay.
When do I find out the rest?
And that's the mystery. It's not solved.
Is that it?
The article never finished. Good day. Good day, sir. Good day to you.
Sorry. It continues there. The top block is the date the house is checked. The left block is signed by the task force that inspects the house. So maybe the left one, which I said was normally empty, maybe that's where they put it.
Mm.
In the white quadrant are special instructions, anything from gas off to FW, food and water left, to any other pets or issues the house might have had. The bottom block shows records of how many people were found in the house. There we go. Okay, so that's bottom. Often the solitary number counts those who have died. Okay, so turns out the thing was correct. Because this is what you would see. And you notice the height of this spray paint because it was a hurricane and the house was underwater. So look at this picture.
Oh, yeah.
So, and there's one down here. So, yeah, that makes sense. Date. Okay. No entrance. See. Okay, clear. All right. I'm just curious. I thought I'd do that on the show because it was relevant to the movie because I saw it several times.
Yes, it's in there several times in the movie.
And I want to solve that mystery, see if it was all fake. But it turns out it was right. It was just the bottom X. All right, let's get out of here. Until next time, which will be
Tuesday.
Amos and Andrew.
Oh my God! 2 weeks from today. Oh, Jesus.
Amy Jackson, Nick Cage, in a pretty good comedy.
I'm Amos and Andrew, you motherfucker.
Is that what you think happens in that movie? Have you ever seen it?
I don't think so. No, I never saw it. I just like PG. It's a PG movie.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's actually pretty good.
I wanted to see it. I've always been curious about it. I do like both those guys. So,
well, it looks like one of those movies that you would watch and go, so 90s. But I watched it and I was like, this is actually pretty funny. Like, why is Trapped in Paradise Cage's comedy movie? This needs to be Cage's comedy movie. Raising Arizona, obviously.
Because Dana Carvey's in it.
There's so many retard jokes in that movie. They literally say that so many times because he's a little slow.
You're a retard. What are you doing? How dare you retard?
You just remind me of someone.
It's a bomb! He's got a bomb!
Yes, because I'm just too cute for words.
All right. Until next time, in the meantime, I'm Phoenix West.
Dick.
So long, citizens.
Oh, Shelley Duvall.
Long citizens. What about her? You jerking off to her right now?
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, or bug eyes and bony ass shoulders and whoo. So on that, I was at Walmart today and I looked at the DVD Blu-ray section, and of course, Night Gallery was there. I didn't know that Guillermo del Toro did a bunch of commentaries on the